and life. Here is the Brother Leon Show. You better recognize.
What's going on, listeners? This is your boy, Brother Leon, and you are tuning into another episode of the Brother Leon Show. So today we have Belize Spivey. She is coming back today. I am excited because we are going to talk about narcissists and narcissism in relationships today. So today is going to be enlightening. It's going to be challenging because the one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is this, is that you have to look at the people that you're in relationships with. Because some of you are dealing with narcissists, some of you are dealing with people that are bipolar, and you're trying to figure out, how do I maneuver through all of this? And a lot of times, I'm going to tell you, man, and be honest, it is hard sailing in hard water. That's the God knows truth. Especially when you don't know who and what you're dealing with. If you don't know what a narcissist is, that relationship is going to be hard because you're constantly questioning whether or not you're good enough. And over time, man, that wears on your self-esteem. It wears on you emotionally because it's like, I got to constantly keep pouring in and putting in to this person and they're not giving back. They're always needing affirmation. They're always needing validation. And when it comes to me, it's just whatever. You're lucky to get even whatever. And you're only as good as you're needed. And so you have to understand and know the types of relationships that you are dealing with today. So I'm going to tell you, man, we are going to call Belize Spivey, man. This is going to be nice. I'm telling you. So listeners, I'm not going to lie, this might be a hard show. Just being honest. But I want you guys to understand and know that we have to have these conversations. And we also have to understand and look at people's experience and learn from their experience. Because I'm going to tell you, look, your cookies might be so daggone good, it ain't going to change that man. You might make $1 million a year and it still ain't going to change that woman, man. Please. Man, your sex game might be that strong. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's not enough. And that's what people get tired of. So, guys, with that being said, we are going to call Belize Spivey. Let's see if she's available right now. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good. It is good to hear your voice again. I told the listeners that you are returning. So tell us what's been going on. I know you've been on that tour. What's been going on with that? How did that go?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I got back before they started acting like they ain't had no home training, but all is well. I enjoyed food. The food was amazing. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse, but
that's all right.
All is well.
Okay.
I said I'm a little hoarse, but all is well.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, we can take our time today. If you need to get some herbal tea, knock yourself out.
I already have some.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So I was telling the listeners about the topic today. We're going to discuss dealing with narcissists and narcissism. So I already told the listener, I was like, this is going to be an enlightening conversation, but it might be a hard one as well. So with that being said, talk to us. What has been your dealings with narcissists, and how did you get to the place where this is what I'm dealing with? Because some people may not even know that they're in a narcissist relationship.
Most people will never. Most of the time, you won't know until you're out of it.
Okay.
Literally. I dealt with it when I was married. So, you get in, You think everything's great. He seems like a nice guy. They typically very charming. It's typically men, but women can be narcissists too. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I'll say it's kind of difficult to pinpoint in women compared to pinpointing in men. But he just seemed like a really nice guy. You know, he always seemed like he had these high accolades. Everybody liked him. I don't know how, but everybody loved him for some odd reason. Mm-hmm. But when you close the door and you're behind the door, this person is a totally different person.
Wow.
Very insecure, you know, making it seem like everything is your fault. Not giving you any type of, I say, mentally, emotionally, or spiritual support. And I say it's even more dangerous if he's a believer, because he'll use our belief system to literally murder you.
Ooh,
like, literally, it will tear you apart, because the person I was with is a believer. So it made it 10 times worse, because they know the word. Don't let them play you. They be knowing it. But they'll use it to manipulate you, too.
Wow.
And make you feel like you should stay somewhere that you shouldn't stay. And think that God wants this for you. And he do not. He do not want you being abused, mistreated. You know, anyway, he doesn't want that. But when you're in something like that, you truly believe that, oh, it'll get better. It will not. It will not, because most narcissists have no clue why they're the way they are. Most of them don't even understand why they even think, like they think or respond the way they respond. They think this is just me. No, it's a disorder that, honestly, I'll be so real with you, it's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's hard to treat them for, because they have to see it's something wrong with them.
Yeah, yeah, because I was reading, and, you know, it was stating on this site that I was reading that 75% of men are diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. You know, and so it's kind of crazy. And the fact that you said that it came from a believer. So let me ask you this. With that coming from a believer, can you also say that church hurt came out of that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It does. Because at the end of the day, you're believing. Because honestly, it could be some people who are at high places. That's the hard. If you talk to a lot of women, first ladies, women who have been in ministry, they have dealt with that for men who are pastors, ministers, some, you know, deacons, whatever you want to call them. And they have dealt with that. And it hurts them to the core where they left church.
Yeah.
Or they don't trust me at all.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. I definitely know. I know some of the scriptures that you probably got beat up with. I know you got beat up with the wives submit yourselves to your own husband scripture.
No, interestingly, I did not.
Nah, for real? Wow. You didn't get beat up with that one? Because that's the main one.
Listen, it wasn't even on that. I would say for me, it wasn't scripture throwing. Okay? It wasn't that. It's just like, well, you're supposed to be a believer, so, you know, you shouldn't act like that, because I'm not gonna lie, I would literally flip a lid. He will push me to the point where I act completely out of character.
Wow.
I won't say completely out of character because it was in me, you know. But he literally pushed me to a limit where I will act beyond crazy. I will throw stuff. Literally, I will hulk out.
Ooh, Lord.
I'm like, you tripping. You tripping. Like, you pushing me to a whole other level that I don't even like. You know, and then like, oh, why are you tripping? It wasn't even that serious. That's all you. I mean, go from up here high and come low like you ain't did nothing. And now you're yelling, you're screaming, you're mad, and you're frustrated. And they're looking at you like, what you mean? Yeah. I didn't do anything. Yeah. I just said my piece. What you mean?
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
So let me ask you this. Do you mind being transparent and give us an example?
Let me give you an example.
I mean, something that you cool
it's
to
so
talk
far
about.
Back that I kind of just let it go.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to think of an example that's just very clear.
Well, let me ask you this. What about when you started on the path you're on right now?
Oh, interestingly, like when I started doing this, he was very do your own thing, do you, type thing. He was not in the forefront. If anybody been following me for a long time, which you have for some time, did you see my husband? Did you see my ex-husband?
Yeah. I remember when your name was Samuels.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
do you remember seeing him?
Do I remember seeing him? I saw him maybe one time.
Correct. I'll tell anybody who married, any woman that is happily married, you don't see her husband.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you don't, you need to question why.
Yeah.
Even for a man, if he's happily married, you may not see his wife consistently all the time, all the respect, but you don't see his wife every blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
Family shot, something. If you don't see nobody and they say they married,
Yeah.
they ain't really married. It's something in the water.
Okay.
It's really going on. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when I first started doing this, he was just real distant, like do your own thing, whatever. But every time I had an event, he acted like a plum fool.
Ooh.
Literally, he pissed me off before my events. Every single one of them.
So it was hard to focus, wasn't
Every
it?
single one of them. It never failed.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So was it like sabotage?
Oh yeah, he wanted to sabotage it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's how I feel. He didn't want me to do it.
Uh-huh.
Like every event I had, like even when I had my first event, when I first launched, I had my book launch and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'll stay home with the kids and you go." First of all, this is a big moment. Really?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't help me pack nothing. He didn't help me nothing.
Damn.
I did everything by myself.
Dang. So let me ask you this. So when dealing with a narcissist, it's always about pouring into them. Giving praise to them, because I know one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, was it almost like that person sort of like needed worship? It was almost like you put them on a pedestal where God should be. You know what
Absolutely,
I mean?
because they are so needy.
Okay.
They're so needy. They always want your attention. They always want your support, your love.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's not on that healthy level where it's just like, oh, I just want to be around you, they will literally cause the issue just to get your attention, period. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what it is. I just want all the attention on me, period.
Wow.
So it could be good or bad. It don't make a difference.
Okay. So from what I'm gathering is that, on the outside, these are the type of people that make you feel warm. They always have words of always giving you accolades and everything of that nature.
Yep.
They're always praising you. They're always seem like that they are uplifting the life of the party per se. But then as soon as you close that door, it's a different story. It's about me.
It's a completely different story. That is not who they are.
Wow.
At all. And literally, it took me coming out of the relationship, because I just left. Like, I was like, I'm sick of it. I left a couple of times. I left in the process of engagement, and I left after I got married a couple of times. And then last time, I was like, if I don't get out of here, I'm going to kill you. That's just how I felt.
Wow.
I'm at my last straw, and I feel like if I keep doing this, I said, you don't know me well. And my mom used to tell me, said, listen, she blacked out. I had a blackout. I said, look, I'm too close to taking your life. You got children. You got children.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I said, I'm out. I got to go.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking me to a nasty place. And I don't want to do this no more. So I could put out of a relationship at that point. But I didn't realize what I was dealing with until I met a young lady I met while I was in a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. And literally, she broke down narcissistic to the T.
Wow.
Literally, she broke it down to me. I was like, what?
Wow.
Didn't know anything about it. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't know anything about it. But when she started talking about it, I said, I dealt with that to the T.
Let me ask you this. Did it make you feel like that you weren't good enough? Because I know some people feel like, well,
absolutely.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm not good enough. And then people are like, well, let me get some self-help group. Let me get some therapy so I could try to help him better. Maybe I'm not loving him the right way. And I mean,
right.
Literally,
I dealt with that. When I was talking to a young lady, she said, I want you to go back through some of your journals and read exactly what you wrote. And she said, you're going to see that it was all him. And you're trying to please him. And it was so true. I was like, we're having hard times, but we're going to get better. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's always me doing everything, and that person ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they will make you believe that you have to fix it. I don't care what anybody says. If you're in a relationship, if it's leading towards marriage or you guys are just getting to know each other, it shouldn't just be one-sided. Soon as you see it one-sided, it's a red flag, and you need to stop whatever y'all doing and figure out why it's one-sided. And if they don't want to add their piece, you out.
Wow, that's. You know, I ain't gonna lie. That kind of shit can make somebody have a nervous breakdown.
Literally, I lost it. Like, I lost myself for a long time. For a long time. And I'll tell anybody, like, it's abuse. It's like domestic violence, but it's mental violence.
Yeah.
You know, it's mental abuse. It's verbal abuse. It's spiritual. That literally takes a whole nother toll. Now, I'm saying that domestic abuse don't, because all of that's been one, but a person also hits you. But at this point, like, it's all mental, and it's like making you believe that you're just crazy, you don't have no work without them, you can't live without them, nobody ever wants you. They literally take everything they have learned about you and throw it in your face.
Ooh, so when you were being, you know, when I say intimate, you were opening yourself, when you were being authentic, when you were being transparent, they took all of those episodes of your life and used them against you.
Oh, yeah, they will pinpoint the time to use it. Because when I came out the relationship and he was just like, oh, I accept you and have herpes, I don't give a hat to the flip. That was your choice, not mine. By then, I was out like, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do, I'm out. And I had to learn, and I would tell anybody, this is the biggest tip dealing with a narcissist, shut them out. No texting, no calling, don't communicate with them at all. Because they're going to always try to suck you back in. They'll be at the point where, I'm so sorry, and da-da-da-da. And then 2 seconds later, they will act like you are mud on the ground. They'll cut you out and love you at the same time. Literally, I wish I still had no text. When I say crazy, I was like, you got a mental disorder. I mean, up and down. I didn't respond to no text messages. I had emails. I had him literally creating other accounts to get to my page. I literally had him all over his page talking to me about me like a dog. Like, I just didn't say a word. I blocked all his family. I blocked everybody. I was like, disappear at. Woo, I was gone. Me and the kids disappeared.
Ooh, man.
Disappeared.
So the whole thing was, you know, they feel like that they're losing control when you don't respond. When there's no response, they lose it, right?
They lose it because at the end of the day, they feed completely off of you at their beck and call.
Wow.
They feed off of that. They completely feed off that. And when they don't have you doing it, they lose it. And they're constantly going to try to find somebody else to feed it.
Wow.
So you're going to come off like a bad person. You're going to come off like the person who did everything wrong. And now that was her, because I got called all types of stuff. Oh, she's taking my kids from me, and she don't want to be with me, and she cheated on me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm looking like, wow. I laugh at it now. I'm like, if y'all fool enough to believe him, y'all a fool.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I think the one thing about narcissists is that they know how to pick people. So let me ask you this. Looking back in hindsight, how did he get you? Because I'm curious about that. How did y'all meet?
The thing about it is, it's interesting. I am so friendly. I'm not as friendly as I used to be. Okay. But I'm a very outgoing person. Very talkative. I don't mind, but I think the way he got me is the fact that they feed off of you. It's like they mirror you very, very well.
Yeah.
So any woman can find a man who is so similar to her, and not similar, but just have similar traits to somebody who's very open, very talkative, seem like they're mostly attached. They mirror you very well. So really, it's not them getting you. They know how to mirror you well.
Wow.
So you're thinking you're finding this great person, and really all they did was mirror who you are, and literally never showed you who they were.
Wow. So he gave you the song and dance. He put on a mask.
To the teeth.
Wow. So he studied you, and it was like, okay, this is what she needs to see. This is what I'm going to use to get in. Bam, bam, bam. And he was in.
Yeah, he was in.
Wow. Oh my God, ladies, I'm telling you, you gotta have that conversation. I'm serious, because everybody puts on that mask. And once that mask
Yeah.
comes
It
on,
isn't even a conversation no more. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing as women. It's not that we're not talking. We're
Yeah.
not listening and we're not paying attention long enough. Because
Okay.
literally she started falling apart, but I didn't want to see it. And we have people around us, we all who always say your friends telling your homeboy, your brother, your mama, and you don't be wanting to hear, no, I'm not here. And she look at you like you a fool.
yeah.
Because you don't see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
people want to tell you, but you don't want to see it. And I feel like that is anybody's downfall is number one, not wanting to listen to people around you.
Wow.
You have to listen to the people around you.
Yes.
Especially if you keep hearing the exact same thing. Get out your feelings long enough to hear what they got to say because they're not lying to you. And you know they're not lying, but women got to fix the spirit. No. That's not what they mean. No.
Uh-huh.
You know exactly what they mean because you felt like that a couple of times yourself.
Yeah. Well, let me
So
ask.
many women get into situations, I can say that we get into situations, especially with narcissists at a lonely point. Most women, you don't think they be dealing with loneliness, but they be dealing with loneliness, so they come in at one of your most vulnerable times in your life.
Ooh, man. Let me ask you this. Did he have the gift of gab?
Huh?
Did he have the gift of gab? I mean, was his telephone
Absolutely.
game? Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I bet he could make you laugh too.
Absolutely. They all can.
Wow. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right.
That's just what they are. But I think the thing is, I would tell any woman, and even men, because women, if the women out here, you won't notice it, but it's women out here too, and you got to pick up on it, you got to pick up on it fast.
Yeah. Some got, man.
If you pick up on it fast, you'll get into a cycle that you don't realize you're in.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this. So, I mean, y'all started dating and everything. Did you see any signs when you got engaged?
Absolutely. I'd be a fool to tell you, no, I ain't seen nothing. I woke up one day and he was just the devil. Everybody will tell you that is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
You're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just wake up and you're being abused.
Yeah.
You're always being groomed. Always.
Okay.
You're always getting groomed for the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so many people say that, but no, you've seen it. But like I just told you, most women, including myself at that time, I got with him at a lonely place in my life. In a place where I'm still figuring myself out. I'm in a place where it's like, yeah, I would love to be with somebody, It's nothing wrong with wanting to be with somebody, but my whole thing, you want to be with somebody who want to be with you.
Yeah.
Not want to use you and abuse. You want somebody who want to be with you. We working together. We really want each other to be happy. We want to work towards something healthy. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking just, I want to be with somebody, it's about you at this point. And best believe you're going to find another person that's about them.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be toxic.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Was there any time in the relationship where you felt like, I know this is what I'm dealing with. I'm going to believe God going to turn this thing around?
Listen, absolutely. And listen, this may sound so weird. Listen. And I love my Christian sisters, all this stuff like that, my brothers too. Don't be a foolish. Like, my whole thing is, God don't want you in crappy situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so many times we keep like, well, God gonna turn it around. And it ain't turning.
Yeah.
It ain't turning.
Yeah.
Sometimes he ain't turning the thing around. He say, they ain't gonna turn. He say, oh, no, they not turning. That means they gotta be a willing inside on the other person's side. That person has to have a will for one to turn.
Yes.
He ain't out here just turning people around. They gotta be willing.
Yes.
It's no will.
Yes.
And a lot of us think God is going to turn things. First of all, last time I checked, I had to want salvation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I have to want to be healed.
Yes.
And a lot of us want something for other people, and they don't want it. And then when they don't turn around, well, God don't love me. He loves you enough to keep telling you that I can't change that person. They don't want me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have nothing to do with this.
Wow.
Let it go and go.
Wow. You know what? It's crazy that you hit the nail on the head. I'm serious. It's crazy that you would say that because a lot of people think that, I'm gonna just pray and I'm gonna just have faith. And I'm like, you could pray for a person all day. If they don't want it, they don't want it. And you are actually committing charismatic witchcraft. trying to make somebody love you. You're trying to make somebody love you, and like you said, their will is involved. If their heart isn't turned towards God, if their heart isn't turned towards you, you can give it up. And a lot of women feel like, and some men feel like, yo, all I gotta do is, I sex them good enough, I take her on enough vacations, I buy this, I buy that. I'm like, nah, it ain't gonna work. You're just gonna get heartbroken.
Well, that's it. You're gonna get beat up, and you're gonna be broke. Wow. They gonna take everything from you. Best believe that. They gonna take it all. They gonna enjoy it all, and then you gonna feel empty. I would just tell my sisters, listen. I don't know who lied to us that prayer changes all things there, because that person has to want to.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, coming out of the church has literally warped people's brains.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what have happened. I don't know. But some people truly do believe that if I just pray hard enough, it'll change. You will change, and you will wake up. That's what happened. Because you're the one praying for this change.
Yeah.
And you will end up changing. They may not change, but you will.
Yeah.
And you'll wake up and see stuff, because I have been in relationships, and I have prayed, like, God, even in that one, I prayed, and God kept showing me.
Oh, Lord. Let me ask you this.
He started showing me. He's like, no, you ain't here because you wanted this. You ain't here because you wanted that. You was in here because of this. You was in here because of that.
Wow.
You in here praying about that. I'm about to get on you because you willing to see some change. I'm going to change you.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people in there, they don't want to hear they don't want to hear all the spirit in it, though.
Mm-hmm.
You want to change somebody else, but that's where the manipulation comes in. So you ain't praying no more.
Yeah.
You're just trying to manipulate the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Thank you. Let me ask you this. Did it ever seem like, and I think what I'm seeing right now is I see a lot of women they feel like that things will be okay as long as I give up my life so this person can have a life. And in that, I'll find my identity and everything will be good. Because I believe that there's a lot of women that has given up their lives, their dreams, their callings, in support of this man. And then the crazy part is he gets to where he gets, and then he discards you.
Yep, leave you and get with another woman who don't have to do half of what you just did.
Exactly. Whew, man, that's
it happens all the time, but I feel like this is happening because as women, we're taught to prepare to be wives and be moms. We're never really prepared to do God's call.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like our whole existence is just to be wives and mothers. And I feel like it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah, it is.
It's so much deeper than that. And when even prepare you to be, even if you're preparing to be a wife is more bigger than laying on your back and cleaning up a house.
Yeah, I'm glad you said
Literally,
that.
you're preparing a household where you're spiritually preparing a household. You see everybody's business.
Mm-hmm.
You're praying for everybody. You want to, you're also leading your husband and making sure he stands on the goal or path that God has him on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're very much in the middle of everybody.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't prepare you for that part of being in the middle of everybody. It's just kind of like cushioning everybody. No, you're literally seeing everything that's going on with everybody, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You're all in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But a lot of people don't teach you that part of literally being able to see everybody, but also assist everybody where they are, but also staying where you need to be and what you're supposed to be doing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is multitasking at the absolute best. Multitasking is absolute best. It's so much deeper than just cooking, cleaning, and having sex. I promise you. And I'll tell any woman who get married, if you think you're just going to be laying up having sex all day, you a fool. That is a lie.
Yeah.
You get real busy when you get real married.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And don't say you met a man who's in ministry. Baby! Baby!
Yeah.
I mean, he was in ministry when you met him.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about y'all built the church together.
Yeah.
And then even for a dude who you building a church with, he's really into what he is called to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not saying he's leaving you out, but you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah. I had a first lady on here, and I'm like, it was women trying to test her gangster, talking about, ooh, can Pastor so-and-so come over here and lay hands on me at 3 o'clock in the morning, calling their house.
Oh, yeah, they will try you at a high, but like I said, if you go in here wanting to cook, clean, and just have sex, baby, you gonna get ran over.
Yeah.
You're literally, like I said, you the basis of the household for the children and your husband. Mm-hmm. You see stuff before he see it. You feel stuff before he feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're trying to have a conversation like, okay, sweetie, he coming for your head. And you know, sometimes men see it, sometimes they don't, but that's where the patient comes in.
Yeah. Well,
but you're still standing in preparing, you know, for whatever that may be.
Yeah. Because, you know, the one thing that I will say is this. And some people may disagree with me. I believe that women, that they have an intuition, and they have not only an intuition, but they have a discernment sometimes that is greater than men, and they can feel the moves of the spirit at times greater than men. And if their wife is a praying woman, I'm like, yo, dude, you better follow that, because she see things from a different perspective that the Holy Ghost is showing her that you need. And it is an asset. It's not about her trying to hold you back. It's a lot of times she's trying to help you staying clear from them landmines. Because if you hit a landmine, that's all of y'all.
Listen. And I feel like that's a growing thing. I truly do think it's a growing thing.
Yeah.
When we really get into seeing Christian relationships, you don't see the meat of the Christian relationship. You only see the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think that's a downfall for many people, that they don't see the meat of a Christian relationship. I can say I'm pretty blessed. I'm close to my pastor and first lady, and I see the little stuff. I'm like, that's why you do that. That wasn't nice.
Yeah.
You know, type thing. Like, first lady, why you say that?
Yeah.
You know, type thing, but I get to see them as humans.
Yeah, it's that's where it is. And a lot of people forget that. They forget, like, man, I'm like, look, when they at home, that's so-and-so. That's whatever their name is at home. But when they out in these streets outside, they pastor and first lady. But inside the home, man, please, you're going to see people's flesh. You're going to see their insecurities, where they need to come up in God at. And a lot of times, people have a hard time with that. But I'm like, nah, man, the gifts and callings of God are without repentance, and everybody is working on something, from the pulpit to the door. And that's where people have a lot of problems at. And then the crazy part, even in ministry, who counsels the counselor? It's hard for people in ministry and positions like that to go up and to be transparent, because it's sharks out here, it's wolves out here.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, we just have to, and that goes into when the question you want to ask me, putting people on pedestals, and I think this is the downfall a lot of us are having, is that we're putting certain relationships on pedestals, not knowing exactly how the relationship functions. And I feel like whatever worship you receive.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what's going on in the background of that thing, and you're like, I want that, as we know, what you speak has power.
Yeah.
Now you're receiving what you have no clue what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's not always bad. But best believe it's always a struggle somewhere.
Yeah, it is. So
I would tell anybody, you know, especially in this social media world, please do not put no relationship. Don't even put your relationship on no pedestal.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Because you will learn real fast that a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things. A lot of things. You don't know what they're dealing with until they start telling you. We're starting to see relationships dwindle out lately. Or we're seeing relationships literally hit like rock bottom in some hard times, but they choose to stay together. Like, I would do that, You don't know what you will do when you're in a relationship. You have no clue.
Yeah, exactly. I get on people that say,
I say never say never, okay?
Yeah.
My girl already said I told don't never say never, baby. And I'm like, come on, I never just say, okay, watch your words.
Oh yeah, my mom was right, because I said it too. Man, I ain't gonna never, man, please. And that thing end up coming on my doorstep. I'm serious.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you said never say never. I feel like you just opened the door to get attacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure enough did. I'm serious. I'm like, man. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, look, don't judge people when people, you hear about stuff on the internet or you hear about stuff in the neighborhood or you see stuff in the paper. I'm like, you don't know what you would do. You don't know what you would do if you was in their shoes because you ain't dealing with their pressures. All you seeing is, right now. And I mean, people are so quick, like, couldn't be me. Child, please. Couldn't be me. I'm like, you don't know what you would do.
No, that's the sad part. It will be you, and then you're going to be hush now, and we're looking like, where is such and such at? Mm-hmm. And then we can't find you because you're in a real bad relationship, and then you come out the relationship like, y'all, I was in a bad relationship. And now you feel ashamed because, and I think this is all something all of us need to work on, is watching what you say. Because at the end of the day, when it happens to you, now you feel this guilt and this shame, and you don't want to say anything. And I feel like at the end of the day, you can always fix your wrong and say, you know what, I was that person who said I would never deal with this. And it happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But you got to get to a place where you're willing to be transparent and stop worrying about what people say. My whole thing is, I don't say some stuff like, man, I never deal with that. And I'm like, y'all, I dealt with that. I'm sorry. Like, listen, I apologize. I make you feel some type of way. But you got to be in a humble place. And a lot of people don't want to stay humble. Like, you got to get humbled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, humble yourself to help somebody. Mm-hmm. Because it's somebody just like you who felt the same way, and now you're helping that person. You may not help the people who like, I told you that was going to happen. You ain't helping them. You helping the one who felt just like you felt.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's the main thing. I'm like, you got to be able to be humble enough to help people. And you also have to be humble enough to allow your story to come out, your testimony, because I'm telling you, there are people who are running to where you just came from, and they need to hear it. No, baby, that ain't the move. Let me tell you my story.
I'm telling you, Grandma said, listen, you won't be the first and you won't be the last.
Yep, exactly.
You won't be the first and you won't be the last. There's nothing new under the sun, and I don't wish this on nobody. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I don't wish this. I don't even have no enemy. Listen, but the enemy, okay?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't wish this on nobody. Mm-hmm. It's a tough thing to go through because it takes a hit. You take a big hit towards your self-esteem, your confidence in yourself, self-love. You start doubting your own. You start doubting the Holy Spirit. No lie. The things you think you hear, you don't think you hear it because somebody been telling you for so long that you're crazy.
Yeah.
So now you're losing this intimate relationship with God because you hear what you hear, but for so long he's been telling you you're lying.
Wow. So he taught you
dangerous, not to trust the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So dealing with him put doubt on you.
Yeah. I mean, heavy doubt. I was like, I know I'm not crazy. Mm-hmm. I know I hear what I hear. I feel what I feel. But my thing is, I just got to a place, like, when they started to get down to the end, I just felt like God was just, like, really, like, he's like, we're going to be real strategic. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to be strategic about this thing. So I said my last little piece, I was like, look, I don't know how you think we're going to be in a relationship, and we don't spend time together. I don't know how you think it's going to cultivate, but I'm telling you, if you keep going down this path, this relationship is going to end. And that's all I said. I went back to my computer and started working. So that's when I really I started my YouTube in the midst of this relationship. Because what I did, I shifted my energy from him all into my YouTube. That's why my YouTube is where it is today. I took my pain and put it into my YouTube.
Oh, Lord.
I built my YouTube through all of this.
Dad, you didn't feel, let me ask you this. You didn't feel no type way? I mean, because a lot of people say that if you can't make it in a Christian marriage, you ain't fit to do whatever. Like they say you ain't fit for ministry, you ain't
That's
fit
a lie. First of all, everything ain't no Christian marriage. See, that's a lie right there. Mm-hmm. If it's not displaying love of God, it ain't a Christian marriage.
Wow.
And a lot of people want to say it's a Christian marriage. Just because you was a Christian yesterday don't mean you're a Christian today.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Pick up your cross every day.
Yeah.
He didn't say pick it up once. This is a constant walk to want to be a disciple of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. This is not a one-time go round. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people have a struggle with that. Like, no, you have to constantly make decisions every couple of moments to want to do it God's way. A lot of us don't always make the right decision. You may make the wrong decision right now, and then the next 2 months you're like, okay, God, I'm going to love you, I'm going to do the right thing. And the next month you do something wrong, and the next minute you do something right. It's a constant choice.
Wow. So let me ask you this.
Everything ain't the love of God. So the Lord.
Wow. Everything ain't the love of God. Wow.
No, everything is not. And I think sometimes we don't want to question that because, like, oh, what did that say about me? That means you love God, but you struggle and you make the choice not to love Him at moments with your actions.
Mm-hmm.
This is a constant fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the struggle that for people on the outside looking into believers. It's like, you weren't of God today. You right, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. They don't count me out, though. Don't count me out.
Yeah.
Don't count me out.
Yeah.
And they're looking for us to be perfect, and we're not.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this. What was the straw that broke the camel's back and that made you be like, you know what? I don't care what nobody think. I'm out.
That last argument we got into, I think the thing is, I got hurt. And then I really see his true colors when I got hurt. I got better after I got better and things like that. It was like April. It was around April. And I got really, really sick. I didn't feel good at all. Like when I say I didn't feel good, I don't know what was wrong. I felt like crap. Did he help me? No.
I mean, you weren't like in the hospital, was you?
Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just don't want to do nothing, blah, 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 blah. But I did not feel well at all. And I had suicidal thoughts. I was like, man, I'm tired of this, man. I want out.
Wow.
I want out. Like, I really, really want out. Like, but I was like, I have children. I love my children too much. And people depend on me, so I can do that. I'm like, I'm scary. I ain't trying to hurt myself, you know. Even though thoughts don't mean you have to go for it, you know.
Yeah.
So, at that point, God said, make a decision. He said, you in or you out?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, loud as the day. You out. Make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm done. Literally, after I said I was done, we had the worst argument of heck. And when I say the worst argument, worst argument.
Wow.
He throwing stuff, I'm throwing stuff, the kids in the middle of it, watching it. It was bad.
Wow.
It was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever lived next door probably thought we were killing each other.
Wow.
Like, it was really bad. Like, I threw stuff. I knocked it. Look, I'm not typically the one to knock stuff down. I'll knock stuff all over his work clothes. I was so pissed.
Oh my God.
But it was over. Like, it really sparked because number one, I wasn't feeling well. And then one of my close friends came over. He was like, oh, he gave me something to eat. He gave me something. And I gave him some food. He was like, well, you out here giving niggas the right food, blah, blah, blah. And I said, niggas, yes, I did, because I'm just saying what he said.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's all right. We good.
You know, like, oh my God, chill, geez, please. But, you know, he was, and I was like, look, he gave me food. I told him I would give him food. So he was like, I'm so sick of this junk. He picked up a cup and literally threw it to the wall. And at that time, our youngest son, he was a baby. He was little. And he's sitting on the bed and all this happened. At this time, I'm already sitting, he's like, ain't no way you feel no good. You lying, you blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You're not going to be throwing nothing. I am sick of it. So at this point, now we're arguing about everything. Now I'll tell anybody, please don't hold nothing in. Because when that argument kick off, everything you feel comes to corporate.
Yeah, it does.
Everything you've been feeling, holding, I'll tell anybody, if you got something to say to your partner, say it to them in the moment that you're feeling it. Don't harvest it. Because as you harvest it, you think about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, how you're going to feel when you say it.
Yeah.
Like, say what you need to say while you're in it so they can see your raw feelings for the situation for what it is, not harvest feelings. So, you know, now we're arguing, all this stuff going, oh, he all in my face. I'm like, look, bro, I'm trying to tell you, you get out of my face. Like, for real. Like, we're not even going to do this.
Wow.
We never, and I can say he never physically put his hands on me.
Oh, man.
I thank God that we never got physical.
Yeah.
I thank you. That's only but God. I thank you for the little guy that was in him, okay?
Yeah, that been ugly. Can I ask you this? How tall are you?
I am 5'6".
Whew, man, yeah, you ain't no short woman. I'm like,
Yeah, but my ex-husband was like 6'1".
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
He's way over me.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I ain't gonna lie, there wasn't no fear in me. I was just like, I'm done. I'm over it. He's like all in my face. We're arguing. And every place I pushed him. I was like, go. And he stumbled. Like, okay, she got more strength than I believe. At this point, I'm pissed.
Uh-huh.
He was like, please stop with your hands. I'm like, you in my face. You're threatening me. Like, I'm done. You're not going to keep threatening me. Get out of my personal space. I'm a strong believer. Let everybody be armed. Look, if I can touch you and you're at arm's reach, we just too close to each other.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Anger do not produce righteousness in no way. So I was like, at this point, let's just keep our arms reach. Like, stay out of each other's arms reach. So at this place, I'm done. I'm leaving. Packing the kids up. You not leaving, blah, blah, blah. I said, I am leaving. So I'm packing the kids. He don't want me to leave. We get downstairs. We're still arguing. Literally, I picked up our vacuum cleaner with one hand, and this fucker was heavy. And I said, you know what? I gotta go. Because I want to hit you with this.
Wow, that's bad.
I want to hurt you really, really bad. So I was like, I need to go by there. We still throwing stuff downstairs. I don't see remotes clean across his head. Like, we throwing, everything gets thrown. Meat gets thrown. I mean, the house is just in shambles. I don't took our wedding pictures. I shattered the first front window of our house because I'm mad. I was shattered it.
Wow.
I was like, that's how I felt. I felt like the window in the inside, like our inside world was shattered. Because I was like, from the outside, it looked like we had it all together. But on the inside, we was a hot mess.
Wow. Wow.
And I packed my kids up and I disappeared.
Wow. Let me ask you
and
this.
It was the best thing I ever did. I think that was the best thing we ever did was just finally letting it go.
Okay.
Now, we have conversations here and there. I keep it real cordial.
Okay.
Narcissist always trying to pull you back in so you don't be a fool.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
So I don't say too much to him. He'll call me and tell me stuff, and I'm like, okay. No emotion.
No emotion. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't give him that response.
I wish you well.
Wow. Let me ask you this: Was it anybody? Was it anybody from the church to try to get y'all back together? Because some people feel as though if you've been married, you need to reconcile and everything like that.
No. First of all, I had somebody who was closer said, "I feel bad." I said, "Don't. He's not who you think he is." Because I did a video on YouTube, on Facebook. I literally came out and I told the whole story. I was like, I'm done. He's not who y'all think he is. It ain't nothing on it was nobody on my page but his family, his church family. Because at that time, before then, he was working at the church. He was supposed to at the church. So, by then, met all these people and all these things. All of them was on there. My pastor now was on there. He the one who was like, Belize, that's not right. He's the only one who came to me and said, Belize, stop. Nobody else came and said, I'm going to check you. I'm not going to trip up my weight. I'm going to check you. You need to stop. Look at yourself. Stop. Don't be something that you're not.
Yeah.
That's the only person who said something to me for real. On the spiritual level.
Okay.
Everybody else was just like, do what's best for you. Do what's best for me is I can support. Y'all have no clue. This is crazy. But I didn't really get that. Like I said, the only person who really said something to me directly was my pastor, who's my pastor now.
Okay.
And he pretty much shook me out of that. Like, don't be something you're not, girl.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Yeah.
But no, everybody kind of let it be. And truthfully, people see stuff, they just don't say nothing. And I really want us to all get out of that. Say something. Say something to them. Especially if you say you love a person. You say something.
Yeah.
Now, if they believe you, that you can't convince.
Yeah.
But you still don't ever be that person like, man, I wish I said something. I seen it and I ain't saying nothing. Don't be that person. You see something, say something. It don't have to come from a nasty place. Like, look, I love you, but I really need you to open your eyes.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that. Because a lot of people say, I'm not trying to get nobody business. I'm like, sometimes you need to get in people's business.
Listen, our business is everybody's business. If you are my brother, and I consider you my brother in Christ, your business is my business.
Mm-hmm.
If God put it on my heart and I'm able to see this in the spirit that something's going on with you, why would I be foolish and let you keep going through it when I could have came to you and said, look, I love you. I've been witnessing some things. Are you okay? And don't lie to me.
Yeah.
I'm just that type. I said, I know something going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have brothers like that. Had some stuff going on. I said, and I see it. I said, I've been feeling. I said, you good? I'm good. I said, no, you're not. I can see. I'm not a fool. I can see you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we all are good at trying to put on face. I'm looking like we all have to get out of that. And I understand you don't know who to trust sometimes and things of that nature. But if this person has showed you nothing but love and support through any situation you've been through, this person is genuine to you. And we know genuine from fake. Let us all stop acting like we don't know the difference, because we do.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to get help.
Mm-hmm.
And that may just be talking out what's going on with you. That's not always them coming to the house and taking you out of the situation, because that's a choice you have to make on your own.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that may just having somebody to talk through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk therapy work.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
It do work, y'all.
Yeah, it do. It do. Sometimes you just need somebody to listen while you vent.
Yeah, that's all you need. Just to see if you're really experiencing what you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would truly say, if you have dealt with any type of trauma in your childhood, of abuse in your childhood, experienced domestic violence in your childhood, some of us are just reliving what we experienced for a long period of time. So it may not just be he's doing stuff to you, it's triggering you to do things too.
Yeah, it is.
So sometimes you just really need to talk it out to find out, is it just triggering and now I'm responding based off of what I learned,
Mm-hmm.
or am I just all this is really just happening to me?
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you this, because I know there may be some women who have, they saw what their mothers or they saw what their aunts and even
Mm-hmm.
sisters have gone through, and they made the promise, I will never, ever get with a man like that. And then the next thing you know, they with a man like that, and it's like their whole world falls apart. They can't say nothing, and it's like they're suffering in silence, and they are dying on the inside because they swore that they will never, and it ended up coming to them.
It goes back to that never ever. My whole thing is, you can't say you'll never be in something when you don't know how they got there in the first place.
Yeah.
So the only thing is, just because now by the time you see the abuse,
Mm-hmm.
you really have no clue who he was before when she first met him.
Yeah.
You'll have to, and I'll tell any woman, if you know any woman who's been in domestic violence relationship, any type of abuse, you need to ask her, how was he in the beginning? How was she in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
You need to see the telltale signs in the beginning, not now you see the abuse. That's the last part.
Yeah.
You need to see the red flags that they ignored.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn those things. I would tell anybody, if you know anybody who dealt with that, and you do not want to experience things of that nature, you need to ask them, what are the red flags?
Exactly.
What should I ignore? And they don't tell you exactly what you should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And take it to heart.
Yeah. So
I think that's the thing that I can say we're lacking, especially when a relationship, especially when abuse is present.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really asks what happened in the beginning to get you here.
Yeah, exactly.
They kind of ask you what happened to get him to hit you, or the abuse. They don't really ask what built you up to this point, because abuse just don't come out the door.
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, it's a grooming thing, so you got to figure out what happened in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And really pay attention to what happened in the beginning. Those red flags, things like that. I'm reading this book called How Not to Date a Loser, and it's a Christian-based book.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing this book says is don't get emotionally attached to somebody without knowing who they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of our downfall, is that we're emotionally attached to people without knowing who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
You fall in love with somebody, you fell in love with a facade.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, nah, man, I don't believe no love in first sight. I gotta unpack. I gotta undo the package first.
Listen, Listen, nobody is perfect and nobody have it all together. You just need to find out what is going on with them. Mm-hmm. Everybody has something going on with them. Yeah. Even the people who, quote unquote, maybe financially good or career set or what, they still have some hidden things that they don't even like talking about or don't even know they have. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can pick up on other people's things like, dang, they have this thing going on, whatever. And sometimes you got to bring it to their attention. They probably never really paid it any attention.
Yeah.
So I just tell anybody, and I tell my clients that, and even something I try to tell myself, stop being emotionally attached to people without knowing who they are. Mm-hmm. And I know as women, we tend to do that. It's a struggle for us. We love love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, but it's only beautiful when it's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So
and I think that's a struggle too, because a lot of people don't know what healthy love is. I'm just learning what that is now. Mm-hmm. 31 years old, and I'm still like, oh God, nobody taught this. Mm-hmm. But people can't teach you what they never experienced.
Yeah. Wow. Mm. Yeah, you're right.
So a lot of us been getting pieces of good and pieces of bad. Pieces of good and pieces of bad. And we just been sticking all together and expect just a healthy relationship fully come out of crap. You can't expect that.
Yeah.
We can't expect that. Healthy is communication. And I think that's something everybody has to work on, is real communication. Not trying to always agree on things, because you're not going to always agree on things, but to agree to disagree and figure out what y'all compromise is going to be. Okay. Or just knowing what you're going to be in for and what you're not going to be in for. Mm-hmm. And having real boundaries. Mm-hmm. And I think that's another struggle, not having real boundaries. What you're going to deal with, what you're not going to do. Yeah. Comes up, you put your foot down. If they don't want to do it, you get out. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just believe, I got to stick and stay, it'll work out. Oh, they crossed your boundaries 100 times. No, they don't respect your boundaries. Yeah. It's not going to get better, I promise you. It won't. Mm-hmm. They have to respect what you say is a yes or a no to you.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: Did he ever see the error of his ways and try to reconcile, try to get back? Or was it too late?
I was done.
Oh wow!
I was 5 years in of listen. Enough to see that you ain't changing.
Wow.
I wasn't going back. I knew if I go back, it's gonna be somebody gonna die. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
We were escalating.
Wow. Yeah. Man.
We were escalating. Uh-huh. Like, it wasn't getting any better. It's not like we were having arguments. It wasn't as bad as before. Mm-hmm. It was escalating over the years. Wow. It ain't nothing else after that but physical. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not getting hit by him. Listen, I'm not that type of woman. Like, I ain't taking a hit. Mm-hmm. He's a big old dude.
Yeah.
I'm not getting hit. Anger, nothing comes good with anger, man. You get supernatural powers, okay? No, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I am good.
Yeah.
I did not want to find out. So I left before it even happened. And I didn't even want him to even, as much as he have his struggles, that's still something he got to deal with. It's just, I hit my child's mother and my wife. That's not something you need to add. Mm-hmm. I still care about your spiritual life. I don't want you to get beat up about. That's guilt. That's shame. Mm-hmm. That you may not address to me, but you still deal with.
Yeah.
So I was like, I won't even keep myself in a situation for you to have to deal with that type of torment.
Yeah.
So now, he's tried, but I am done. Mm-hmm. Sign these papers. I applied for I did everything. He did nothing. I applied for that whole divorce. Mm-hmm. I left in May, and we were divorced in November. So don't let anybody tell you that they can't get divorced. They lie you. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So let me...
Okay. Now, you'll have a little tug and fight, especially if y'all have a lot of assets together.
Yeah.
You have children, and he's really trying... he didn't contest me. He was like, I'm out, But if you have somebody who's really trying to fight, just get your lawyer. Mm-hmm. Your lawyer get you out of it. Yeah. Make that investment. Don't trip. Especially if you don't have the money, talk to the lawyer. Don't let money be the reason why you stay in a relationship. Lawyers will work with you. A lot of that stuff they do, they'll do it for free, especially if the situation is very complex.
Yeah.
They're like, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, cool. So let me...
So I want to tell people that because some people are like, oh, I don't have the money, man. If you don't call that lawyer, because that lawyer's like, don't worry about it, man. Them lawyers like, I know where this going. Let me get you out of this. Let me get you out of this.
Yeah.
Get the legal help that you need. Do what you need to do. Talk to professionals about what to do. Because sometimes we try to like, oh, my friend told me to do this. No, get some legal counsel.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get the law involved, make sure you get the law involved. And really get the help you need. Don't let money, I'm telling you, don't let money stop you. Because clearly, I didn't have a dime walking away from there. I had like $200 and some, okay? When I walked out that relationship.
Wow.
And I didn't pay a dime for that divorce. Other than my notaries, okay? So, if you have financial issues, and I'm just telling this because most people don't know, if you have financial issues, you can literally go to the judge and say, I can't afford it, and they will prove it with your income and literally do it for free.
Okay.
No reason for you to stay.
Wow. So, yeah, that takes the excuse out of everybody's mouth.
And I thought the same thing. I can't get out of this. And really, a divorce only costs you like $250 in Georgia. I'll say that. In Georgia. Now I'll tell you, if you just got married, you got to be in that thing for a year. Most states make you stay for a year because they want you to kind of do therapy and whatever and see if you can work it out. So it's a little bit more complex if you just got married. But we have been married for some time. So I always say, make sure you know your own laws in your state pertaining to getting a divorce, especially if you just got married. But if you've been married for some time, it's a way to get out of that thing. And also make sure you have you need real support. Real support. Not somebody you kind of no. You need to find your friends or your mama or your family who are going to support you 100%. Not creating more damage to the situation, but really trying to help you get out of that situation and get you the help you need to get out of it. Especially if you got children involved. It gets very complex when you got children.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Was there ever a fear that, I've been around this so long, what if I start seeing my ways start become like that? Is it possible that a narcissist, they can pass their ways on to the people that they've been involved with?
Really, I haven't seen that happen. I mean, even with research I've done, because I don't do research over time, it's really just narcissistic abuse.
Okay.
Now I can see that you can flip it, just like you say, sometimes domestic violence, now she becomes the abuser. Yeah. So I can see that's possible. But with narcissistic, you really just get to a low place. Like, literally, they tear you down mentally. So even for you to have that ability to want to do that to somebody, it's pretty tough when you experience it. And most people who experience that type of abuse are people who are very open, very loving. They don't even have the desire to do nobody like that. So I'm not saying it's not possible. It's not something I see, but narcissistic abuse is real.
Wow.
And it do take you some time to kind of come out of that, making sure you're getting help, self-love, self-healing, therapy, all of that. You need it. Especially if you've been dealing with some mental disorders prior to that, depression, anxiety, and I like to say this because a lot of people don't think that's mental disorders. It is. Depression, anxiety, panic attacks. If you dealt with all that before, you really need to go in. And it was clinical, doctor told you had it, please go get therapy. Like on a high level. And I'll tell anybody to go get therapy after that. But it's all about what you do, it's all about how you go through your things. But if you get to a place where you really can't function, please go get therapy, go get help. Please don't let money be the issue. If you have a job, your job offer you therapy. At least 3 sessions. Yeah,
exactly. Let me ask you this. What was the journey, when you started healing, and also what was dating like afterwards?
Listen. Healing was something. I'm still healing now. I'm crazy to tell you that. Oh, I'm just absolutely over it. don't let other people lie to you like that. You know,
Wow.
like everything, I feel like you get to a healed place, but healing is a constant active work.
Mm-hmm.
Just the same way I tell everybody, like, if you get to a healed place, the only way to stay there is to not let nothing take you out of it.
Yeah.
So you're constantly being aware of yourself. You're constantly making sure you're not falling back into things. You're aware of your triggers. Like, I'm proud of myself. I'm not triggered by this conversation because I'm really over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any other time I used to get bottled up, mad, angry. I'm not angry because I really still have so much love for him because he gave me an amazing son.
Mm-hmm.
I can't continue to be mad at him. We got a child together. And I know at the end of the day, for us to have this co-parenting, it's going to be up to me.
Yeah.
So I have to get out my feelings to lead this co-parenting in the healthiest way I can.
Mm-hmm.
Without arguing, bickering, fighting. I don't want that. I'm not married to him. I'm not in a relationship with him to care. You know, that much. I only care about what we're going to do for our son.
Yeah.
So you really have to get to a place of not being triggered anymore. And that takes time. Especially when that thing is rooted. The longer you're in a relationship, the longer it seems like it takes sometimes to kind of like come out of that and like reverse all the stuff that you heard, felt, things that range through your mind. I know anybody who's been in a bad relationship, or not even a bad relationship, you don't got into an argument with somebody, even with a parent, they don't say something and you can still remember it, and you can hear them say it in their head, in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that stuff out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it takes time to get that stuff out because you got to start replacing. You have to start replacing those thoughts with your own thoughts and what you think of yourself and what is true about yourself.
Mm-hmm. So
really just going through that. In dating, listen, this dating thing, I'm still trying to figure it out. I ain't even gonna lie. Mm-hmm. Because you really have to be you gotta be aware to not attract the same people.
Yeah.
Keep attracting the same people, and you gotta ask yourself, why am I keep attracting the same people? Am I attracting somebody just a little bit better? A little bit better is not better. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to be completely not the same, completely different.
Yeah.
So for me, I say I don't date often. I'm not a big dater. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that big dater type girl. I'm out here dating a bunch of people, going out. I don't do that. I never have. It just never was my thing. But that may be because I was raised. My mama wasn't like that either. Mm-hmm. She wasn't like that either. So I kind of like follow my mama in that. You ain't never seen my mama out with all types of dudes. I didn't see that. When my mama was dating somebody, that's who she was dating. That's who I seen her with. Yeah. So I kind of picked up that same way. If I'm talking to somebody, that's who I'm talking to at that time. I just don't do the serious dating thing. That just hasn't been my thing. So right now, I'm just like, I'm minding my own business. I'm in my own bubble and still working on things in myself because I think we all have an area or areas that we can work on ourselves in. Mm-hmm. Because if you can go into a relationship and you know still things that keep sparking, you got to fix it. Mm-hmm. You have to fix it. And I was in a relationship recently, and I'm like, yeah, Belize, you want to now control the whole, you want to control the whole relationship because you don't want to be in a relationship that you're controlled in. So I was like, now I'm trying to flip it. I said, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not a relationship. Mm-hmm. It's not a relationship at all. So.
Wow. I thank you for your transparency. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Because, I mean, it's a lot because it's like, I mean, you know, that type of personality, it will wear people out. I mean, it will like just suck the energy.
It wear you down.
Yeah, it'll suck the energy out.
It wear you down. I never thought I'd deal with that. If, you know, the person that you know me as, nobody would think that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's the thing. Like, oh, she's a confident woman. You know, she's out. She's bold. That don't matter.
Yeah, I looked at your videos. Nobody
knows my hidden struggles.
Yeah, I mean,
and insecurity.
I could have never. I would have never swore that. I'm serious. I looked at your videos. I was like, man. I was like, Lord, she on point.
Yeah, but my whole thing is just because I'm on point doesn't mean I don't have my down spot. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure people look at you the same way and would never think of half of the stuff you've been through. You've been through.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's the thing. Once again, looking at putting people on this kind of like pedestal thinking thing, they will never deal with that. Mm-hmm. The only reason why I'm able to say half of what I say is because I've been through it. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to prevent you from going through the exact. I don't want you to go through it. But I got this passion. I have this boldness about it because I don't want you to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you listen to anybody who talk about relationships or anything, they're so passionate because they've been through it.
Yeah.
They're not talking from a place of, oh, they're just, all education. No, this is experience. They don't want you to go through that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're trying to save you from experiencing any of it. Despite that some people will still experience all of it, some of it, because everything's not always told.
Yeah.
And some stuff presents itself in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't expect to save everybody. You can't expect that people still won't, go down that path. But when you look at anybody, they always are speaking from a very passionate place because they experienced it or firsthand seen it. Mm-hmm. I mean, in it, trying to help somebody out of it, and they don't want you to experience that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the biggest thing is, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The part where you just felt like everything you did wasn't enough. I mean, that in itself can wear on you. Like, you feel like you're a hamster running on a wheel and you ain't getting nowhere. Because everything I do ain't enough.
You ain't getting nowhere. Listen, I mean, you lose yourself. Like, I literally lost myself. Mm-hmm. Over the years, I looked at myself. I gained so much weight. I lost so much weight. I gained weight. I lost weight. I didn't feel like myself at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I lost who I didn't even know who I was. Mm-hmm. Like, even though the only part I can say that I knew I was me being an SC life coach. Nobody can shake me off that walker because he didn't create it. Yeah. He didn't build it, and he didn't contribute to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only thing and I still hold so much value in that area because that's the one area that I was able to put my foot down and nobody can take it from me.
Yeah.
Because nobody helped me create that but God.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that God birthed in you.
Yeah, and I feel like it saved me in so many ways because too many times I was talking to ladies, I'm like, man, I can't be staying in a relationship like this. And then they saying enough that, well, I'm not going to be as a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. And that's what I kept saying. At least you ain't no hypocrite. It's enough of those in the world. It's enough. I don't need to add me to it. Mm-hmm. There's enough hypocrites. People know what my belief system is. What I'm not going to do be a liar to them and lead them astray.
Yeah.
I said, I'm responsible for these people who come into my life. I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. Was it easy getting out? No, it wasn't easy getting out. But I told all my business when I got out of it. Then let them know, look, ladies, I love y'all too much for this. Mm-hmm. I don't want y'all looking at me that I got it together. I don't. Make the same mistakes y'all made. Mm-hmm. Please just don't go down that route. If I can help you prevent going down that route, let me help you. If you're not ready, cool, but just know I'm here. And that's what I tell all my clients. I'm here for you wherever you at. Just know I got your back. I got your back. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's just not as easy as it seems. Walking away is not that easy. I'll tell anybody when you deal with these types of people, they get you tied up financially. They get you tied up all types of ways where it's kind of hard to get out. Literally, I walked away with a lot of debt. Wow. Too young to walk away with a lot of debt, but I did.
Wow. Wow.
Some narcissists act like they got it all together, and they don't. They'll put you in a bind because they want you to stay with them at all costs.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Did you have anything that he tried to destroy? Because I know someone...
I'd say more my character than anything else. Because of where I was and the pedestal I was on, he wanted to destroy my character. He wanted to discredit me. But my whole thing is you didn't create it, so you can't discredit it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
So he tried to post things. He tried to say things to discredit me. And I'm looking like, you really can't discredit me because I tell all my business, bro. Like, you will never be able to discredit me because I tell all my business.
Yeah, you control the narrative.
I'm like, I'll tell it before you tell it.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you tell it...
And that was always my motto coming out in that relationship. Like, Belize, you better tell the story first. Tell the story first because he's going to try you. Tell the story first. And even tell it when you feel it. You feel some type of way. I'm like, look, I ain't feeling it today, but I'm going to tell it.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it today, but I'm going to tell it. You know? Some of this is emotionally driven, but I'm going to tell it. You know, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you tell your own story, nobody can control it. And I think that's the downside for anybody who's in an abusive relationship. You let the other person tell the story too much.
Yeah.
You're too ashamed to tell the story. And since you're too ashamed to tell the story, they get to control the narrative. And they get to, like, literally destroy your character to a certain extent. Because you never spoke up for yourself. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. I'm not going to say it is, because it's not. Especially depending on what you dealt with in that relationship.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing that you see with anybody who deal with any type of abusive relationship. They're just so ashamed to speak. And when they do speak, it just sounds like they're not telling the truth. But let's be the truth. We see it with celebrities all the time. And you see the woman crying and, you know, and everybody, she lying. No, she's not. You just believe this narrative. She's not lying.
Yeah.
It just seems so far-fetched that she dealt with.
Wow. Wow. Let me ask you this. When you came out and everything, and God started healing you, did God also do a work in your kids as well?
And who?
In your kids.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my, listen. If you're a mama and you're dealing with abuse, you gotta focus on your kids too. Like, as much as you're trying to get yourself back on your feet, literally, I ended up getting my oldest son therapy. Because my child was being, like, literally dealing with abuse in the midst of that relationship too. Like, literally, I struggled with seeing that my youngest son wanted to get my oldest son in trouble. Because he thought he was better. He treated one better than the other. So I had to deal with, and I had to break that out of them. It took me a minute to break that out of them. Because my little one used to always just try to get the oldest one in trouble, yelling. He's like, I didn't do anything. And the little one's like, you know, type thing. And I had to break down. I was like, you ain't that special, bro. I love you. But you didn't kill that. I had to kill it.
Yeah.
They're better now, but I had to kill that spirit that was trying to grow in him. I got to still remember that's his dad, and he witnessed all that. As a child, from in the womb all the way out, he experienced that type of abuse towards me. And his brother.
Wow.
And he's seen it firsthand. So I literally, it took me some time, but my oldest one, I ended up getting him therapy. I ended up getting him, I asked for a black man to literally come in because I wanted him to see that it's a way that you can have a healthy relationship with a black man. And, you know, some people are like, well, no, I had to do that because I need him to see it's a way that you can finally have a healthy relationship. I don't want you to believe that what you experience is this how it's going to be. Even though that man wasn't in his life long, it helped him get to a place of comfort again, of communicating and talking and feeling comfortable because he believed he had that in that relationship, and it literally flipped, and he watched this man literally treat his mom bad.
Wow.
So that's the one thing I did for him, and then I just started talking to my children more often. Like, my oldest son was there, so me and him talked a lot. Me and him are pretty close, so we talk about everything. People are like, you don't tell children adult business. Well, you put them in it when you got in that relationship. So you need to have a real conversation with them so they can know what really is going on and also deal with the trauma or what they experience because they see it firsthand from the outside view. The outside is always worse than what's inside. Because it's like you have no clue what I seen. And then it is. So me and him talked. I was like, I'm leaving. We're leaving. We're not going back. I said, I'm tired of it. I said, I like how he treats you. We're out. We're done. You know? And things of that nature. I even had to snap on the other one multiple times. First of all, what you're not going to do, you're not going to treat my child any type of way. And this one too, you're not going to treat him that way. We don't do that. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Not healthy at all. So yeah, I really focus on my children. My children are better now. Like, they two peas in a pod. Like, my little one won't cry without the older one. Got to say something to him for him to cry. It's crazy. I was like, you don't even cry with me. That is how much he loved his brother and respect his brother. That they're just that close now. But before, they couldn't. My oldest one couldn't stand that little one. He couldn't stand. He's like, Mommy, he's always trying to get me in trouble, and he's disrespectful. And he don't listen to you and Daddy, which he didn't. He didn't have to. He seen us not respecting each other.
Wow.
So I tell anybody who's in relationships like that, like, make sure you ask the kids how they feel, allow them to share how they feel, also get them professional help, because sometimes you're just not in a place to fully help them. to get them professional help where they feel comfortable with talking to somebody. Because even when he was, he told me this and this and this and this. And he said, "Is he telling the truth?" I said, "Yes, he's telling the truth." He was saying that's really what's the experience. You know, they might not tell you everything. They can't have to. I'll say, but if it's pertaining to any type of abuse, they have to say something. You know, so he used to tell me like, "Yeah, he's not lying to you." He's like, "Wow." Yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell any parent, get the help. You know, from a man's standpoint and from a standpoint, because sometimes the men end up getting the kids. So just get the help you need for the children, and also have an open relationship with pertaining to how you feel, what you see, and also reestablish trust with you, that they know that you're going to, you know, continue to try to pick the best person for them to come into their lives, and also teaching them that's not how relationships be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, wow, you have overcome tremendous odds. I'm serious. I just want to say thank you for saying yes to God. I'm telling you, because, you know, God birthed that in you. I would have never imagined you were going through all of that just looking at your YouTube. I could have never. I would have never saw it.
Nobody knew. Like, we could be arguing and I do YouTube videos. Like, if anybody seen all my YouTubes in the beginning, like, I was, like, in the living room, I wasn't talking to him. We wasn't even talking. We weren't having sex. We wasn't doing nothing. I was just doing video. I literally threw myself into it because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get out. Because at that time, I wasn't working, okay? 2 degrees and wasn't working. You know that's a trap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whew, Lord.
No, I have more education than you. I will make more money than you any day. And that's not to make him feel less than a man. It's just the truth because of the degrees I had.
Yeah.
But he didn't want me working.
Wow. So that whole thing was, it goes back to control.
Yep. Trying to control the narrative, trying to control me, making me feel like I'm not worth anything, and things like that. And he's saying things like that. I'm looking like, not worth nothing. Bro, I got 2 degrees. You tried me. 2. You tried me.
Yeah. And then you saw the jealousy when you started elevating. You know, you started.
Oh, yeah, I started elevating. He didn't like that thing.
Yeah.
As my YouTube started popping out, he didn't like that thing. He didn't like it. So he chose to discredit me and start hanging out with his friends and things like that. He started putting that. I was like, your friends are cheaters, so I know what you out there doing. Keep on. Keep on. Keep on.
Yeah.
I've seen the change in him. I've seen him doing stuff differently. I said, you think I'm a fool, don't you? I'm not. And I told him that. I said, you're not having sex with me, and I know your sex drive. I know exactly you out here doing something. But it's all right. He's going to catch up with you.
Wow.
And I say that to any woman. If you know your husband or your partner's sex drive, and that's not towards you anymore, he having sex with somebody. Don't let anybody fool you. You know his sex drive. You know what he likes. You know how much he wants it. If you're not giving to him, who are you getting it from? Other than if he's quote-unquote fasting at that time, where he's like, I'm not doing anything. But it's a difference where I'm fasting, I'm focused on God. It's a difference that I'm just not focused on you.
Yeah.
It's a difference. You can tell the difference.
Wow.
And if you don't know the difference, you can tell the difference. I would say fasting, you can tell his behavior, the way that he talks, the grace that you receive in his relationship. You know, he's not going to be harsh in the midst of fasting. He shouldn't. It's crazy if he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be harsh.
You know, it shouldn't be no harshness. It should be very much, he's in a peaceful place. You're going to see him working towards his relationship where he's getting up early, staying up late. You can tell he's in a worship place. He's reading his word. You should be able to see these things. Now, if you don't live in a house where you probably won't see it, but you can see it in his actions. If you don't see it in his action, he's distant or she's distant. You know, they're not calling like they used to call. They're not talking to you like they used to talk to you. They ain't even touching you the same. You can even feel it in a touch. The way they kiss you, like, who are you talking to and who you kissing on?
The routine done changed. The feeling done changed.
Yeah, so you can tell because they've been with another person consistently for a minute. I have told ladies, men are a creature of habit and pattern. It don't take him long to catch on a pattern. He just got to do it a couple of times, and he got it. That means he'll did it a couple of times to pick up her new pattern or his new pattern. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
People got thicker lives.
Wow. Yeah. I tell anybody, I'm like, man, people are creatures of habits. All you got to do is just observe and make sure that you're aware, listen, see if the words match up with the actions and look at patterns, because everybody has a pattern. So,
and I don't say that for anybody. Like, know your own pattern. Like, know your pattern as well. Like, and I think that sometimes we put so much energy into the learning that person that you tend to not know yourself. And I'm sure anybody, if you've been in a relationship, like, I know you better than you know yourself. You don't ever want nobody to say that.
Yeah, exactly, because you give them all your power.
Yeah, don't ever let somebody know you better. That means they know you're not aware of yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, if you heard it recently, it's nothing to be ashamed of, because I feel like somebody feels ashamed because I say that. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's just for you to take your time, step back, and make yourself the priority. Yeah. Even in a relationship, you can make yourself priority in a relationship. I think we've been told that we can't. You can still be priority in your relationship.
Yeah.
You can say, babe, hey, I want some time alone. I'm getting this time. You do you, I do me.
Yep.
We still cultivating a relationship, especially if it's a pretty healthy relationship. Yeah, we're going to cultivate the relationship. We're going to still have date night. We're still going to have our pillow talks. Whatever y'all may do, but at the end of it, I'm going to do what I need to do for me. I'm going to take my time by myself and will do me. Because the better you are by yourself is the better you will be in a relationship.
Exactly.
You can't do everything together. I don't know who told us that. You can't do everything together.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Some of these Christian marriage books, they make you feel like, yeah, your whole life is glued to each other. I'm like, nah, it's not.
No, like, the real work went into it. You talk to some relationship, you'll see, well, I go to therapy, she go to therapy, she do her own thing, I do my own thing, we work out separately. They do things, because you got to have moments by yourself to see yourself. You can't always see yourself when somebody's sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
Naturally, we all want to please another human being. Naturally. You want to make another person happy. That we tend to put ourselves on, lower ourselves for the other person.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's nothing wrong with having the boundaries, but I feel like that just has to be established in the beginning. This is my time by myself. I love you, but you can't come in and you can't interrupt.
All right.
If you want me to continue to be the person I'm offering you and better, then I have to keep this time.
Yeah, exactly. Did you ever, at any point in the relationship, did you feel like that you had to dumb down? Because I tell a lot of them, I'm like, you shouldn't have to dumb down or dilute yourself to be someplace.
My whole thing, my dumb down is not speaking up fully for myself. I got to a place where I would not say some stuff. As you know, I tend to say what I say. I got to a place where I wasn't saying how I really was feeling because I just didn't feel like arguing, man. I didn't feel like arguing about it. I didn't feel like fighting about it. I really just wanted, I had moments where I was like, this conversation would be so healthy. I'm going to go in here, I'm watching my tone, because sometimes as women we can come off saying we want to have a cordial, just a real healthy conversation and come in with an attitude. So I'm looking at myself like, Belize, watch your tone. If he gets a little out of pocket, that don't mean you have to get out of pocket with him. His emotions are his emotions, your emotions are your emotions. Have control over yourself.
Yeah.
But then sometimes like this ain't gonna happen because he a fool.
Wow. So
I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not even gonna do it.
So you did a lot of stuff just for the sake of peace.
Absolutely. For my own peace.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like arguing. But my own thing, I'm suffering because I want to say something to you. I didn't like how you said this. I didn't like how you treated me. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. Now I'm really just trying to save myself from having to deal with argument or blowout for no reason. For no reason. But all I'm telling you is that you made me feel some type of way and you need to apologize because if you love me enough, you will. And you'll turn from it. I'm not expecting you to be perfect, but I'm expecting you to make some effort.
Wow. So let me ask you this.
And mean what you say.
So let me ask you this: was there ever a time where he would mess up, but then the whole responsibility of fixing it, he didn't take accountability for, and the whole responsibility fell on you to make it right, even though he messed it up?
Yes. Yep.
Jeez.
I got to a place like I ain't fixing it. I just want to say that. I be looking at him like, that's your problem.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to talk to me and we don't speak to each other for a week, I don't care because I'm not fixing something you started.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I would tell you the biggest thing is like I'll tell anybody, silent treatment is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be silent in your relationship, especially if y'all have a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a way of, it's manipulation. You're trying to weigh another person down to deal with something that you don't want to be responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling anybody, I don't care if y'all have good communication. Still, that silent treatment is abuse. It's not healthy. That's not something you're supposed to do because you don't want to deal with something.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer you come to me and say, you know what? I ain't silent treatment. I just don't want to talk to you right now.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. When are you going to be ready? Because I just need a deadline. Because what we're not going to do is just let this thing breeze over.
Mm-hmm.
But that comes with you both being comfortable with communicating, which typically is not the story in most relationships. It's like one person is decent with communicating, the other one just don't communicate at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I got another question for you. Let me see, how can I say this? When they were giving their perspective, and then you gave your perspective on how you saw it, did they ever get mad and feel as though, well, you ain't seeing it the right way, I need you to see it from my point of view? Because
it's always my perspective.
Yeah, it's always.
And I'm looking like, your perspective is not my perspective. I wouldn't be mad if I seen it from your perspective.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I see it from my own perspective, and I know how it made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the narcissistic personality disorder in them. Everything is about how they feel, how it makes them feel, and you need to see it from their point of view. But my whole thing, they don't know their point of view is toxic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's self-centered.
Exactly, because
they don't see it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because some people, and I've said this in relationships. I said, well, look, I'm not you. You can't expect me to see the way that you see, think the way that you think, and feel the way that you feel. Now, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But when I speak my truth, you can't sit up here and disregard it and act like that I'm wrong. I'm like, hey, just because I'm not sitting on your side of the mountain and I see it from my side of the mountain don't mean I'm wrong. So, I don't know. It's just one of them things. I'm like, man, whew.
I think that, and I'm so happy you said that because you're not the only man who will say those exact same words in the exact same way. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing is, as women, we're kind of we're looking for you to say something to make us realize that you get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes we don't know how to say, I don't believe you understand my point. And you're going to say just the line that you said, I'm not like you, blah, blah, blah. But she's saying, well, I still feel disregarded because you don't see it from my point of view. Mm-hmm. And that may not be, you don't have to feel what I feel, but she still wants you to just say, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or say, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Or at least, I acknowledge it, I respect it. And
and I feel like some women don't feel like it's being acknowledged or respected.
Mm-hmm.
Respected. And some women feel like he has to feel what you feel. He's not. Ladies, I love you. Men don't feel what we feel. They don't think like we think. And if they did, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't want us no more.
Like, we don't want them to feel like we feel and think like we think. We do want them to acknowledge our feelings, our emotions. We do want him to respect you. But also, it's just important that both parties understand how a person feels, but also how they feel respected. And I think that's the thing. Like, women have to say, well, I feel respected if you say, or I feel like you respect me if you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But a lot of us still don't realize what that is. So we're constantly trying to seek it through somebody. And you don't even know what it is. You kind of just wanted him to do something and you can't really, you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just told you, I get it. And you're like, no, you don't. Because that's not really, she don't really want you to say it. She wants you to, you know, she wants you to, she wants it in your behavior, but she probably just can't say that. Or don't know how to say that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
But I feel like these are things that you have to learn on your own. Where you still learn in relationships, because sometimes you don't realize you don't have to communicate something until you get in a relationship. But you have to get to a place where it's like, darn, he's really not understanding what I'm saying. And sometimes you got to step back, and I haven't done that. I had to step back. I'm like, okay, did I portray that in a good way that he understood what I'm saying? Because he probably, I can't always say he's just trying to manipulate. Did I really portray that in a good way? Did I communicate in a way that he understood it? Did he understand every word that I use? Not trying to make anybody feel low. But it's the truth. You got to make sure you communicate on the level that your partner understands. Not the level that you always own, but what they understand.
Yeah, what they understand.
But that goes into learning your partner enough to know how they understand things. And also, you're constantly trying to communicate in a way that they understand it. And also saying for the partner that he understands it from the way that you understand. But that's work. I ain't gonna tell y'all like it. That is work.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Really getting to know each other.
Yeah, it is. That's where the rubber meets the road. Serious.
So it comes into that, and that's something I'm learning now as I learn how to communicate better with people. In this last relationship, I realized he lacked some things, but I literally had to sit and say, okay, what do you mean? Why? Like, what you mean? I'm getting frustrated. I used to say, I'm getting frustrated. Please don't take it personal. I'm getting frustrated because I feel like I'm trying to help you, but you feel like you get mad. I said, you ain't sitting down on me. We ain't sitting down. We sit in this room. I be sitting on my desk and he be laying in bed and we just be like, I'm like, no shut down. We got to get through this conversation.
Let me ask you this.
I can feel that he's pulling back. I'm like, no, why are you pulling back? Is it my tone? Do it sound like I'm mad at you? And he'll say like, well, I just go like, I'm like, okay, let me calm down. So, because I don't need you to lead the conversation. Don't lead the conversation. If I got to change something temporarily, cool.
Yeah.
But we can't lead this conversation without me understanding you.
Okay. Let me ask you this:
But that comes with that. But I think the thing is, for me, I just learned that I have to take the time to learn a man for who he is, and him alone, and not compare him to nobody else.
Yeah. And
I think some women, after being through an abusive relationship, they think everybody's the same. And me and him had a conversation. I said, well, I get defensive if you say certain things because that's what I dealt with. And I felt like he was trying to downplay me. And if you say that, I feel like you're trying to downplay me.
Wow. Okay.
And he said the same thing. I said some stuff to him. He's like, well, my ex-wife used to do things like that, and it bothered me. So now we have to be very aware of triggers. Not saying we ain't over it, but it's triggering.
Yeah.
Trauma don't go away automatic. I think people think trauma just go away automatic. No, you got to know what trigger it.
Yeah.
And keep it at bay.
Let me ask you this: Where does patience, when you're dealing in a new relationship, where does patience come into play? Because a lot of times it's like, okay, we're trying to discuss things where we're in a place that's heated. And I'm like, hey, look, I know you want to talk, but I need for you to give me a little space and I need some patience so we can come back to this.
This is a complicated question because I feel like each relationship is different.
Yeah.
But I can just say about this last relationship, I had to literally say, I have to be more patient with you. I had to vocalize what I was feeling and what I wanted to portray. I had to say, I'm not patient with you in this area because, or I know I need to be patient with you because. And I feel like it really goes down to knowing what's going on with that person, because all of us come in with a story. Everybody come in with a story. Everybody come in to a relationship with their own trauma and things of that nature. So you got to know it. You got to know it. Or get into a point of asking them questions for them to tell you, because most people are not communicating because they're dealing with some type of trauma, something's triggering it, and they just back it up. And I dealt with that in a relationship. I was like, where are you going? Stop running. Like, I need you to stay present. I tell them that. I said, stay present. You're literally just existing. Stop existing and stay present.
Yeah. Because let me just say that. Let me ask you what you think about this. Because I believe that we all come with baggage, and I believe that there's baggage.
We all.
There's baggage that we unpack together, and then there's baggage that we unpack separately. But we stay in a place where we unpack the baggage. We unpack it.
Right.
And everything. So, I just wanted to get your perspective on that, because a lot of people feel as though that, I don't want nobody that got that much drama. I'm like, man, please, if you got a childhood, you come in with some baggage.
Everybody coming with some trauma, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody. Mm-hmm. Even the people who have been to therapy for years.
Yeah.
So don't let nobody fool you. And I feel like that goes into this social media world. I went to therapy and everything's good. Mm-hmm. Let our partner tell that truth. Yeah. Let me see what your partner got to say about you. Mm-hmm. Not what you say about yourself. We always gonna make ourselves sound great. Yeah. Talk to the people who deal with you on a daily basis and find out who you really are. Mm-hmm. Then you don't really see your real. Mm-hmm. So I would say, first of all, you got to know what you can and cannot deal with.
Yeah.
What are your boundaries?
Oh, yeah.
If you're dealing with people who don't dealt with certain things, can you handle that? Mm-hmm. It's okay to say you can't. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just that fix it. I can work through it. You're not equipped.
Yeah.
Some people, depending on what their trauma is, they really need to stay by themselves.
Yeah.
That's not something you can try to figure out with another person. It can hurt the other person more. Mm-hmm. So I feel like at the end of the day, sometimes you have to know, are you ready to even get a relationship with this baggage? Is this baggage going to be, is this going to cause harm to my partner, whoever that may be?
Yeah.
Am I able to portray what my tell my partner what my baggage is and try to work through it with them? Mm-hmm. What am I going to tell them they need to do, or what they not need to do, but how they're beneficial to me and when they're not beneficial to me?
Yeah.
But that's you knowing your own trauma, which most people don't. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's kind of difficult to tell people that, what you can and what you can't when you still haven't figured out why you still doing what you deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
But then on the flip side, because that person don't know what they're dealing with, you got to know what you can handle. Mm-hmm. So if you come in and the person's dealing with, and I'm going to have to bring this up, major depression. No. Major depression, people are up and down. They're good some days, and then some days they could be out. Are you able to still be there for them when they are no benefit to you? Mm-hmm. When they're not having sex with you, when they're not talking to you, when they're not feeding you, they're not doing nothing for you. Can you be there? Mm-hmm. Because if you can't, and you're like, nah, man, I need my partner to be present. I need my partner to be there. Then don't deal with nobody who deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is that bad? No. Stop making yourself feel bad for saying no to something you don't want to deal with. And I can see this in the black community all the time. Oh, man, you wrong. Man, everybody comes up. Shut up. Listen, I ain't got to put up with that. They need to go get some therapy. And if I love them enough, I said, let's go get you some therapy. But I'm not going to fall in love with you when you don't love yourself right now. I can't get nothing out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know how many relationships we're seeing where a partner carry a relationship the whole time, and not a person in a good place, but the other person is still kind of beat up from it.
Exactly.
And you can hear in conversation where that partner is still hurting from that stuff. And it hurts me to see relationships like that. I was like, dang, even though they worked through all that, he dealt with this and she dealt with it, and you could feel that, you could see the insecurity that had developed over the relationship. Now that they're in good places, like, man, I lost myself in you. Trying to help you. I'm not telling nobody not to help nobody in a relationship. I'm not saying not being supportive. But when it starts taking you down, you got to step out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I love you enough to step out and let you get what you need.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we step out early, we can save this relationship. But if I stay in this relationship is going to just blow up in our face.
Yeah, it's going
I
to
ain't
kill both
going to
of
have
us.
nothing to do with you after a while because now I've lost everything about myself being with you.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing people want to feel is that they lost themselves in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this.
It's resentment. You don't want no resentment in a relationship.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Let me ask you this. What about those who feel like that, they can fix it and they get into that whole Superman, Superwoman role and, I can turn it around. I got them, I'm like, nah, you just some things you just can't fix. Only God can do that.
Listen. Stop trying to be God.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
Stop trying to be God.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, they have to be willing.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be willing to want to heal and want to learn how to deal with their own triggers and learn how to implement coping mechanisms. They're going to have to want to do that. You can't do that for them.
Yeah.
And we all catch that Superman and Superwoman spirit every once in a while, and you need to ask yourself why.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you want what you want so bad that you're willing to basically do the work for somebody else to get what you want? No.
Mm-mm.
It feels great when you don't have to do other people's work.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at that, most of us realize you do all that work for them, and when they don't do it your way, you get mad.
Yeah, exactly.
You get so mad. When they don't stick and stay, you get mad. You're like, I did all this for you, and you ain't da-da-da-da-da.
Yo.
If that ever came out your mouth, that means you have a Superman or Superwoman spirit.
Yo. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Let me ask you this.
Like, oh, man, why I do all that and you ain't doing nothing?
Yo.
Because they didn't want to do it, so why you do it for them?
Yeah, exactly. Some people look for that. Like, oh, let me see if I can find a Superman. Let me see if I can find me a Superwoman.
No, those people who are not responsible.
Yeah.
They're responsible for themselves, and they don't want to be responsible for themselves. They want to put it on somebody else, and they don't want to do anything. And I feel like we all have to be aware of what you're walking into. What are you walking into?
Yeah.
Are you meeting people who have that type of spirit? Mm-hmm. Call it out. Especially if that's not what you're looking for, say, look, I don't need you to save me.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of my way and let me do my own work.
Yeah, exactly.
But that takes some balls to tell people, leave me alone and let me do it.
Yeah,
I was told that in relationship, my last place. He said, let me do it on my own. I said, okay. It was a humbling thing, but if we didn't have real conversations, he would have never said it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I want to figure it out on my own. I said, okay. And I had to tell him, I said, it hurts my heart, and that's probably many women. Hurts your heart to see somebody struggle with something that they don't have to struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
When help is present, but they don't want help. That hurts.
Yeah.
When you know the person needs help because there ain't no way they can figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
So I was like, but I told him, I said, look, you know what? I said, that's hard for me to watch you struggle when I know you need help. And I know you're getting frustrated because I can hear your frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I see the tears. I see the anger with yourself. A little help will make that all easier. But I said, if you want to do it, I got to step out. What you mean? I said, no, I can't be in a room when you're dealing. I said, that's the healthiest way for us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he got mad at me. I said, but it hurts me to watch you go through that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a difficult part in our relationship. I was like, I don't want to be in the role, period, when you go through your struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. But that was just that was my stickler. I'm not going to be present with your struggle. You struggle alone. I can't be in the room because I'm going to want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But, you got to know what you can deal and what you can't. And he got better with it. He said, I appreciate it because he started doing stuff on his own. He started to get it. He started to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't be present.
Yeah, and then once he got it, it was a wrap after that.
It was a wrap after that. He didn't need me.
Yeah.
Or he messed around and found somebody else to help him. Some people do that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've learned some people just don't want your help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's okay. Be okay when people don't want your help. Be okay when people don't want your advice. Be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not saying what you're saying is wrong. Not saying that you don't care about them and they don't care about you. But sometimes they just don't want it from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't take that as rejection. Just take that as, okay, as long as you get it, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If I love you enough, I just want you to get it. It don't have to come out my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it only need to come out your mouth, then you need to question yourself why they only need help from you.
Yeah.
Why are you that important?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this. We get ready to wrap it up. So what's your whole takeaway? I mean, from dealing with all of that, I mean, you know, even in the midst of that, God had you in a place that, you know, you might have been shedding tears, but you were still building, you were still empowering. And I mean, to see where you came from to where you are right now, what's your whole takeaway? And what are some words of wisdom that you can give to some of our listeners, and especially to our women and our young girls?
I'll say the biggest thing is know where you are right now. Like, know where you are right now. I think some, as women, we're so far in the future. Like, we imagine so big, oh, when I get married and when I do this and how my life's going to be. But no, where are you today? Mm-hmm. Where do you need help today? What are your triggers today? What are your struggles today? And start moving towards that. Who is your support system?
Yeah.
I have different support systems for different things. I have my friend on this side. I can talk to her about everything. Mm-hmm. And then I got another one on this side. I talk to her about this. I got some other people I talk about this. You know, you got some spiritual leaders that you like, okay, I need to go for this. You got to know who you can talk to about stuff. It's not always going to be the same person. And be okay with not letting one person be your all in all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure you have your help across the board.
Yeah.
But also know that whatever you go through, you can get through it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us believe, if I went through that, I wouldn't live. Hush your mouth. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. If you want to live out that thing, you will. Mm-hmm. But if you want to give up in it and let it kill you, it will. I could have died in this situation. I could have. I could still be married right now. We'll probably been like almost 7 years in. I could have stayed married. Would I have been happy? No. That's me dying to me. Mm-hmm. Me not being happy is death.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is just know where you are today, what your struggles are today, what makes you happy today. Make sure you have a support system and know that you can get over it. Anything that comes to you, you can get over it. Mm-hmm. I don't care what it is, the worst of the worst. We have seen people go through the worst of the worst. Especially this year, it's a lot of people who've been through a lot of stuff, and they were able to get over it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about over it. Like, literally, they was able to overcome it. Yeah, they still had struggles. They still have bruises. They still have emotional trauma from it. But they were over that thing. And that can be the same thing for you. If you're in a bad relationship, you can come over that thing. Just because you've been in one bad relationship doesn't mean you can't get a good relationship. But my whole thing is you can't continue to do the same things you did in your past and expect to get a new result. Mm-hmm. You won't.
Exactly.
Don't fool yourself to think you did what you did last time to get something new. No. Some of us look up. You know, he messed around and trip up on a good man. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still have to do different things so you won't tank the relationship with your old ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know what? I think the thing that I'm seeing right now is like the words that I'm hearing from you. It's almost as if that whole thing where you talk about overcoming. I'm seeing mm-hmm. that right now. I'm seeing that whole thing. You know, when you're saying mm-hmm. overcome the stigma, overcome the past, overcome the pain. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, overcome the stigma is just not about herpes. It's way bigger than that because I've been through a whole lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I've been through a whole lot of stuff, and we have stigmas for bad relationships. We have stigmas from abuse. We have stigmas of just being black.
Yeah.
Especially being a black woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's constantly you got to overcome that stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to. But it requires you, number one, being responsible for yourself and then helping other people to help you remain responsible. That's where your support system come in. They just accountability.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, my God. You are speaking some gems today. That's the God knows truth. So so the one thing I'm serious. I'm like, man, if you didn't say what your age was, I would swear to God you were like in your mid-40s. I'm serious.
People think that. I'm like,
yeah. But, you know,
that's why I always say, if you see any of my videos, like, please, I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got it all together.
Yeah.
Don't put me on the pedestal, please.
Mm-hmm. All right. But you know, it's just you know the wisdom that God has given you. You know, the journey that you on, the wisdom that you have, and the testimony that you have, and it's like, you know, it's so powerful and it's so great, and so, you know, I'm amazed. I'm serious, because everything that you just described, there are women who are actually contemplating suicide right now because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they need to hear your words. They need to know that there is help. But a lot of them, they just don't know. They just don't know what they're dealing with, and they feel as though they
have no earthly idea.
Yeah. I
really want us to kill this thing that I think it's just across the globe. You should have known better. I swear those words was a curse.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's a curse.
Exactly.
That's the biggest curse we have received as humans ever.
Mm-hmm.
You should have known better. I hate that core.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I know better is because God told me. Outside that, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You fault each other for not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You make a person feel low, not knowing.
Yeah.
We all got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
But that's the worst curse we ever experienced. Like, you should have known better. They get intense, nothing in our own something.
Mm-hmm.
On fire, what you don't know will hurt you. That's a lie. I tell my kids, I said, what you don't know will hurt you. Consequences come for your butt.
Yeah.
If you don't know not to look left or right and you get hit by a car, you still get hit by that car, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Your lack of knowledge is, listen, lack of knowledge, as we know, Scripture do tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Little perishing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's a curse.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a curse. We don't even realize how things been cursed on us.
Mm-hmm.
Words been just switched up and changed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're so right. Let me ask you this. Forgiveness. When did you come to the place of forgiveness, and how did that help you in your transition?
Oh no! Listen, I cried a lot at church. Listen, I was the girl who rolled around on the floor and yelled and screamed, and my pastor had to literally stop church and wait on me.
Mm-hmm.
I was that girl. Like, literally, I cried and cried and cried and cried. I had to cry out my pain.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can write out their pain. I had to out mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? That's not in tear mix. It was nasty. Like, I cried myself out. I just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. I was like, God, like, I just need to, I have to release the pain, because a lot of us are suppressing all the pain that we're going through in relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that, I had to literally just start allowing myself to feel everything so I can finally say, okay, I felt it all, and now I can forgive you. Mm-hmm. But if I don't allow myself to feel it all, how can I forgive you for something? Mm-hmm. I'm still holding on to some of this stuff because I'm suppressing it.
Yeah.
So I allowed myself to be mad. I ain't gonna lie, I cussed him out a couple of times. Yep, it wasn't a guy, but I sure said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I apologized when I meant it, not because I was in my feelings. It was just the right thing to do. I apologized when I really meant it. And I really want us all start apologizing when you mean it. For all your words are none and void. Apologize when you really mean it. Because your apology can truly set people free when you mean it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, literally, I'm saying some stuff. I apologize for some things I said. Some stuff I said, I meant that. I meant that. I mean, it's all your name, but I meant what I said to court. Mm-hmm. That was my feelings. So, you know. But I just got to a place where I was like, I cannot keep holding myself hostage to your behavior and what you did, and you don't see anything change.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I want to see some change, I change me first. Now, what you do is what you do, but I don't know anybody that you start changing and people don't change around you. It's like the world changed. You start to get better, everything else gets better around you over time.
Yeah.
Or it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works. People think that's a lie. It's the truth. You start changing, it seems like your world changed. If you're not drama-fied no more, drama people don't come to your house.
Yeah.
You don't even let them in the door.
Yeah,
you don't want to deal with certain things anymore.
Exactly. It's because you done changed.
You'll start changing. People are not going to call you with the bull no more. Nobody will call you, get to argue with you like that. In the beginning, they will. Don't think they're going to try you. They do try you in the beginning, see if you can go back to your old ways.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that the test ain't coming, because they always come.
Yeah.
And then you get to another level, it comes again and see if you really got that thing. Did you really get it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so most importantly, I cried it out. I allowed myself to feel. I apologize for the things I said, truthfully, especially when I know it has hurt a person. I'm like, no, I don't want you holding on to my words and them holding you hostage. So I apologize for things. I said what I meant and meant what I said in many areas as well. And then I just realized I have to work on me. I was like, I got to let myself out. Like, if I want to stay here, it's going to be because I stay here, not because he forced me to stay here. I'm not in a relationship with him anymore. I don't have to stay here anymore.
Yeah.
And then learning, especially if you have children with that person, learning how to communicate with that person from your new place.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to learn how to communicate for that person and for them to see it. Because he tried me a couple of times and I went clean off. And I said, I ain't done. Woo! You took me back.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I don't want to keep getting taken back. So I was like, I'm done. I said, I cut him off for some time. I said, I ain't talking to you no more. Let me go back and do me some more work because I'm still dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And also being careful with the people you have around you. Don't let people keep feeding you your pain. Woo! Dangerous.
Ooh, say that again.
If you know you want to be out of a relationship and you don't want to deal with it and you don't want to be mad at it, don't have people around you talking, girl, you need to stay mad at him. Get rid of him. Get rid of them. You want to heal. You don't need people around you who keep feeding you pain.
Yes. Oh my.
They want to keep you in a low place.
Oh my God. Can you say that again?
Don't have people keep feeding you pain.
Oh my God. That.
Because you got people in your life who are like, girl, I never forgive him. He did that to me. Girl, I did this. And girl, I would do this. And I. Please. Stop letting people feed you pain, especially when you know you want to be free from that person.
Yeah.
The only way to be free from that person, you make a decision to be free. And let everybody else around you know, I'm done with that. I'm not going to keep harvesting that. I'm not going to keep being mad at that person. A lot of my friends don't understand how I am very cordial with my children's fathers. They don't understand how.
Mm-hmm.
I let them go. Do they do stuff to make me mad? Yes. That's just still. I'll be mad about this situation, not mad about what he used to do. I'll be mad at what he made me mad about today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll say, I don't like that. That wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Before I'll harvest it. I'm not harvesting. You made me mad. I don't like that. That ain't right. And why did you do that in the first place? I didn't know your logic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a situation like that. I went off on my ex-husband. I was so pissed. Yelling, cussing, calling out his name, and then later on he told me, like, I called her back, and, you know, God got on me, he said, you wrong. You are so wrong. Mm-hmm. So I went back, it was humbling. I apologized, said, you know, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you feel low as a father, whatever. And he was like, you know, I was in a low place. You don't even know it. You have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I didn't want to tell you that because I didn't feel like I could, because you'd be mad. It was a self-check.
Wow.
I'm going off of him and he in a low place.
Mm-hmm.
Did I help him? No. But I said, only God had me go back and apologize. I would have never knew what was going on with him if I didn't apologize. If I didn't have to listen to God, I could have said no. He deserved what he deserved. And God was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set you free, but okay.
Wow.
So. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah. Let yourself out. Just let yourself out. It's a process, though. Yeah. I'll tell anybody, anything you go through, healing takes a process. Losing family members, I want to speak on that just shortly. Anybody who lost family members because of COVID this year, please allow yourself to feel and heal. And also, don't take stuff personal when people say COVID ain't that serious. Just because you lost a loved one, you cannot force them to have the same feeling you have.
Yeah.
They don't know, and they don't even understand what they're saying. They don't realize it's not sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
You expect everybody to be so sensitive because of your death. And I know that sounds so mean, but I gotta say this because I feel like somebody did hear that. Like, you can't expect everybody to have the same care that you have.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's not that they're trying to be mean. You gotta understand COVID ain't affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ain't lost family members in COVID this year. But if you did and you know that bothers you when people say that, say something. Like, you know what? Especially if that person's close to you. You know, that really hurt my feelings, man. And some people don't even realize it's hurting you. You gotta say something. Man, I didn't really like how you said it. You know I just lost my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know I just lost my children.
Yeah.
You know I just lost my auntie. And they're like, I am so sorry. And believe them.
Yeah.
Just remember, your life is not on their top priority all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you gotta pour as well as receive. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's what relationships are about. That's what life is about. Sometimes you pour into people. Sometimes people, you gotta let them pour into you. And and if it's just one way, I'm like, nah, man, that's not a relationship. It can't be one way.
And you gotta bring it to their attention. I think some of us used to be so nervous because we like, I don't want them to feel like I'm being mean. Get over that. Literally. You are not being mean for telling your truth. Your truth is not a mean thing. I don't even know who promoted that. That's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Your truth is not mean. It's not nasty. It's just your truth.
Mm-hmm. And
if you don't, they can't adjust themselves to help you live in your truth or help you heal in your truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we really just don't give people the opportunity to help you in your own truth. You don't say nothing. And just because they were mean to you once, don't always mean they'll be mean to you again. And it don't matter if they mean to you every single time. You just keep telling your truth.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is the truth.
Yeah, it is.
It'll set you free. And if they set them free, it'll set you free.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love that. That's the guy that knows truth.
No, that's your truth. It'll set you free.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Stop adding everybody to your truth. That's your truth.
yeah, exactly. But oh my God, Miss Spivey,
we don't have a good old time. Look, y'all hold me hostage. I'm just kidding.
No, I just figured, hey, I'm gonna just let you roll. I'm gonna let you roll because I feel the conviction and the passion behind your words. So,
man, I learned a lot.
Yeah,
I did. I learned a lot, and I wouldn't do nothing differently though. Like, some people like, I would change. No, because I wouldn't be where I am now if I did anything different. If I didn't cuss, I didn't fuss, I didn't throw stuff. I wouldn't be where I am today if I did anything differently. I'm happy I did everything I did the way I did it because now I can relate to people who did it. And I feel like a lot of us want to change stuff, but you don't realize that's the one thing that's going to help you relate. For the young ladies who ran a dude over with a car, for a girl who boxed her baby daddy in the head, it's a girl like who did the same thing. And now she needs somebody who understands her because her friend don't get why she did that.
Yeah.
But you will.
Yeah.
You like, girl, he pushed you to a whole nother level. I get it. So let me help you get from that anger. I need you to come on out of that. I'm going to help you how to get out of that thing. Because you're going to lose your life. For real, all your freedom keep messing around with that anger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to have you do some things like I seen a young lady literally ran over her baby daddy and the baby. Killed them both.
Ooh.
She was mad. People are like, why she did that? I said, I know why she did that. She was pissed. She blacked out.
Yeah, that's what
happened.
happens.
She killed her own child. She didn't care about that child. That wasn't even about the child at that point. She wanted revenge at all costs.
Yeah.
I tell anybody, ask yourself what you do when you black out. Don't get there. That's all I say.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get there.
Exactly.
Don't let nobody push you to a place that you black out and you will. That's why a lot of people are serial killers. That's why a lot of people literally kill everybody in their household. They've lost it.
Hey,
Some people don't find joy in killing folks. They just end up snapping.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: did you see that video of that girl? She set that dude's car on fire and it blew her back against the other car.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God.
Listen, brother, I try not to watch stuff like that. I can't let that into my spirit. I'm just like, y'all crazy.
I'm serious. I was like, how mad do you gotta? Yeah, and then I seen another video. This woman, she chased this dude in the house, and he locked the door. Do you not know she tore the door off the hinges, the screen door?
Oh, I believe it.
I'm like, man.
It's a supernatural power that you get when you're mad. I don't know. I'm telling y'all, do not play with anger. It is dangerous.
Lord have
mercy. You see people, like, have you ever seen people fighting and you're like, how did she pick him up? I don't know either. Anger? If you want to see a good picture, look at the Hulk. When he got angry, he tore stuff up. That's how we do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that show. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
We tear stuff up. We tear it up. And it took somebody caring for him, loving for him, to get him to calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same for us. We got to get somebody who loves us, support us, and want to help us calm down.
Yeah.
That's the only way he got to calm down. And only one was able to do that. One.
Yeah.
Because he know that's the only person who truly did care about him. I think it's crazy. He had a whole team. Nobody can calm him down but that girl.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that's the only one who really did care. Everybody else wanted to use his anger to test stuff up. Be careful of people who are trying to anger you to get you to do stuff.
Yeah.
That they won't do. You got that friend like, girl, he hit me again, and you run over there beating him up. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
You'll be in jail, lose your children, because she keep letting him do what he do.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Be careful, y'all. Please be brothers too. My brothers too. Your sister keep calling until my boyfriend keeps hitting her. Don't keep running over there and beat this boy up. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm keeping it real. You need to check your sister.
Hey, yeah, you preaching, because I oh my God, I ran into that situation. And the crazy part was...
I know boys who are in prison for other chicks right now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Girlfriends, sisters, mamas. Ladies, don't put these people who love you at risk like that.
Yeah.
You don't put them at risk.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They trying to protect you. You didn't have to stay.
Yeah.
The only thing you should do is say, boy, come get me. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah. I was there. My wake up call was, okay, I'm coming over here, great fight with him, and I take you. You go back, and then next thing y'all know, y'all good again, but I'm still mad.
Yeah, I'm mad because I literally risked my life for you, man.
Yeah.
This man could have hurt me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was walking into. You could have messed around and got beat up.
Yeah, I just said, yeah, I took my hands off.
Saying, you don't never know what you're walking into. You don't know if this dude got, you don't know if he's a professional, but you don't know nothing.
Nah, you don't.
You don't mess around and got me killed.
Yeah. I know. I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait, because I said I'll be there for you, but when I don't get that call, if you up here calling me all the time, I'm like, nah, man, you still love it. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until you say, hey, I need you to take me out of here, and then when because other than
I know some people ain't gonna like what I had to say about that, but listen, it comes from a loving place. It really do. We have to stop putting our brothers, sons in risky situations like that. We can't keep putting them in risky situations because you don't know how to get out of a situation.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take responsibility for it. Don't let them keep coming. That's different if you call him the first time he hit you, you get your brother to beat him up, your dad to beat him up, and you out. But if it's a constant calling your brother, not literally, why? You know is to a man who care about you.
Mm-hmm.
Even for a dudes be out there calling their sisters to beat up their girlfriends and wives.
Mm-hmm.
They risking their life for you because you don't want to be responsible for your own.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have these type of conversations, but we need to stop that.
Yeah.
It's too many people in jail for somebody else, and they out here living good. It ain't like they put money on your book. They saved your life.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
They all forgot about you while you in there. And listen, y'all, I don't know nobody else going to jail for somebody else. And that's why you see in public now that many people don't get involved. It's not that they don't want to help. It's just so many situations where people don't want help.
Exactly.
So you gotta ask, do you want me to help you? And if they say no, you gotta turn your back on it. And I know it's the hardest thing to do, but they chose to stay.
Exactly.
I seen a dude walking the other day. Girl, I don't know what she did. He walking down the street. I said, he is mad. He jumped out the car and started just walking. I was like, girl, leave him alone. Let him walk.
Yeah.
He trying to walk off his anger. Leave him alone. I don't know what you did.
Yeah. I saw the movie like that. I'm serious. It was crazy. It was called Crazy Stupid Love. The guy, he was like, look, I don't want to hear it. And his wife kept on talking. He jumped out the car. Seriously. He jumped out the car.
Listen, sometimes jumping out the car is a saving grace. I've seen people literally beating each other up in the car driving. I've seen it. I have been the one slam on brakes in the middle of the street because you made me so mad. And wouldn't have cared if everybody flew out the window shield. I don't care. Everybody could have died because I was mad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I've been that girl. I mean, we going at full speed and I just slam on brakes.
Wow.
He's like, you're trying to kill us. I say, yep, I want you to die.
Wow.
Literally, you don't care about any of that when you're mad.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. Please, y'all, please be careful with this anger. It is toxic.
Yes.
Toxic.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off that. Let me ask you this. Closure.
Please.
Last question. Closure. Was there ever a time where you felt like you needed closure? Did he offer closure? Did he come to you and say, hey, can you I was wrong. Can you forgive me? I apologize.
I can't remember an exact time that it was like all closure for everything, but I have had moments when my ex-husband came and he said, you know what, you're a really good baby mama. Or he had a situation with his current girlfriend, and it was a domestic violence situation. He said, you didn't even do that to me. I said, because I'm saved. Like I'm a little bit more saved than others.
Yeah.
Okay? I said, I didn't want to go that route with you, so I didn't. But for him to say that to me, I know a lot of us want, I'm sorry, but your sorries may come as the fact that you didn't do something that another one did. And he learned to appreciate the fact that, dang, I did some stuff to her, but she never do that to me.
Wow.
It's a small appreciation and thing. Then he said that to me, I'm looking like, what? To me, I thought it was crazy. Like, so you're confirming that you did the bull crap to me. Thank you for confirming, because I know I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
But for you to appreciate that I didn't do what she just did. Okay. Take it for whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, the current relationship I just came out of, I apologize to him first, but that was fear-led. I apologized to him first. And it was more of a, I'm sorry, and I mean, I was crying like crazy, just keep it real. And I apologize because I said some things, I triggered some things, I knew what his past was, and I felt like God revealed to me our relationship was a cycle for him. It was a nasty cycle, and it can destroy him when he don't feel like he can come out of it. It's like I keep meeting great people, and then they just seem like everybody keep leaving me. And I'm like, I don't want to be a cycle for him. That's not right when I know he really desires to come out of it. So I apologize. And then, like, the week after he came and he apologized to me. You know? Was I seeking that out? No. I really wasn't expecting him to give me nothing. I'm a strong believer in, don't always look for people to apologize. That's not the purpose.
Yeah.
The apology, you apologizing to somebody is for you. Me apologizing to him gave me closure to know I listened to what God told me to do. God told me to go apologize. I ain't supposed to apologize weeks before that, and I had pride. I ain't apologized to him.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because I was still mad.
Yeah.
But God made me apologize at church. You know, you kind of like, you know, spirit's high. You kind of got to do what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he knew that was the only way he going to get me. You know, I'm obedient when the spirit's high.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm obedient during that time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I had to get her where I know she won't disregard me in this spirit. You know, she won't disregard me in this atmosphere.
Uh-huh. You're probably like, yeah, I'm going to get her in
You
this
know, but that was
worship.
for me.
Yeah.
It was for me. And I felt so much better to say, okay, I released you. Now live your life and know that my words are not a curse to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you to hold anything I said as something else that somebody else said, and it's just another knock on your belt that you're not what, you know, you're not what you think you are at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, you're great things. Don't let my words keep being torture to you. And then for him to come to me, which I was so shocked, I was like, he hugged me and everything. I was like, I really wasn't expecting that, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started calling again. I'm like, no, you got too comfortable, but.
Well, maybe down the road. You never know.
No.
Okay. All right.
You know, I feel like we all need to be okay with a no is a no.
Okay.
You know, I don't look to. I know what half is what half for me, but my whole thing is sometimes you need to put a hard no so you won't go back prematurely.
Okay. Okay. All right, cool.
That's how I even got into that relationship, getting into it too early. And if I was like, well, things can change, you start laying your guard down, you get comfortable around, you be back in a relationship and you ain't realize it.
Yeah.
He ain't even grown yet, you ain't either. Y'all ain't did nothing but say, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't turned away from y'all ways yet. No. I'm good. You stay over there. I still speak because we go to the same church, so I have to speak. I'm not rude. Mm-hmm. I speak. We may have cordial conversation because he's close to my pastor, and I also do stuff in ministry too. So we have to come in passing, and we have to have conversation with each other time to time, just because of how close he is to pastor. So I was like, I have to talk to you. I can't ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
That's disregarding the vision of church. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So get on our own way so we do the work of the Lord.
All right. Okay.
So,
hey, look.
I'll just tell anybody, don't seek for closure all the time, because sometimes you just really want somebody to prove to you that they were wrong, but you knew they were wrong. What they need to prove that to you for? You knew they were wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't like anything they did to you. Why do they need to prove that to you? They proved it to you in their action, so that's enough. You forgive them and move on. And some people are like, do I have to forgive? Well, if you're a believer and you believe in the word, then you know what to do. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're not, I can't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But if you're a believer, I'm calling you out. You know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have to go too far in that at all. Mm-hmm. So don't keep telling me what. No, if you're a believer, get in his face and figure that out, okay?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Man, Miss Spivey, I want to say thank you for this time. I'm serious. I know we've been on here for a minute, but I thank you.
What, you had me on here forever?
Thank you.
We was on here for 2 hours and 19 minutes. But it was a great conversation.
Yeah. But I just, can you tell the people about your books, your products, how they can get a hold of you, your coaching sessions? Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, as y'all know, I'm known as the SC life coach, but I am a life coach by itself. So just say if you're like, oh, Belize, I can understand what you're going through. I would love to talk to you, kind of see where I'm at and how I can move forward. Then I do life coaching sessions. You can just go over to my website, www.stdlifecoach.com, and I have a little link there that you can go ahead and sign up. If you have herpes, same there. You can book sessions. I have courses for herpes. I had a book that I wrote, Overcoming What Can't Be Cured, Living Beyond Herpes. That's on Amazon. You can catch it there. I have products also for herpes as well. You can find them on my website. And if you just want to follow me on social media, you can go to my Instagram, stdlifecoach.com, and you can find me there as well.
All right. I just want to say thank you. This time has been definitely priceless. I'm serious. You was dropping some gems today. I appreciate your authenticity as well as your transparency. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
No, thank you. I thank you for pulling it out of me. You really went another way I wouldn't expect you to go, but you just showed me that I'm really, really free for some things. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, cause see,
you confirmed that I was free.
Oh, I confirmed you was free.
We need it every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm glad because I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have no questions written down. It was just popping up, and I know a couple questions.
I was like, he only sent me. He getting in my business. But I feel like at the end of the day, I know this was for me, but to hear you have that conversation with me, it just triggered me to realize, Belize, you let stuff go. You thought you did it, but you really do. So I would tell anybody, last thing I want to say is, don't allow your thoughts to make you believe you haven't forgiven a person.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you will think you haven't forgiven a person, but then you have a whole conversation like I just had, and no emotion. I know when I get angry, my stomach started to bubble. If my stomach started to bubble with you, you evil. I can pick up evil. It's in my stomach. My stomach started hurting. I said, you the devil. I can feel it because my anger is rising up.
Wow.
And I didn't feel that at all. I have a peace in me that I have literally released these men out of my body. No bow tie here. I'm free.
Wow.
I'm free for real. And that feels good for me to say. It feels good.
Wow, that's God. I'm serious. That is God. He delivered you, and you are helping millions. You're helping a whole lot of women and men get delivered. Thank you.
No, thank you. So we'll be talking soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna call you after this episode.
All right, come on. I'm ready.
All right. I'll talk to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, listeners. That was Belize Spivey. So I'm telling you guys, I can't wait to upload this episode. This episode is going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be raw. It's going to be uncut because the one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is that the Bible says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. So you can overcome by another person's testimony. And so I want you guys to understand and know where Belize Spivey has come from, where she was, where she is now, where she's going. I'm telling you, she is on her way. I'm telling you, bookings year in advance. That type of passage, that type of journey. Because I see doors opening for her because, you know, she's transparent, she's honest, she's kind. And the thing is that she wants people to be whole and to be free. And that is what God has called us to. Because the Bible says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Peace.
Walk in the truth that makes you free every day. Follow Brother Leon on all social media outlets.